Yeah, I got them a while ago. So I watched the first episode of the new season of The Mandalorian last night.
Oh, yeah?
I watched the first season almost in its entirety in one go, just like...
Oh, really? Is it that good?
It was just so good. So I watched the Graham Norton interview with that Pablo Pascal's become
yeah?
the hottest shit on earth now with between like the Last of Us and
Yeah.
The Mandalorian. Everyone's like, because no one can see him, they're always like, do the voice, do the voice.
Whoa.
Do you add your emails and stuff?
You're a homely.
Do you have the email?
What email? I've got the 7 o'clock weather, yeah.
7 o'clock weather?
I'm not doing weather, I'm doing news, mos. Jy moet jou skrip lees.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey?
If there's a reason why, maybe...
Wat's fout? Ek is lekker nie.
Is it dropping?
Voel jy nie so lekker nie? Hoekom nie?
Ik kan overvragen, maar dan is je waar wel.
No, I'm back vra, ja. It's been a rough night.
I got the weather, thank you. See, like now. Is it? Yeah, weird. Then it just like drops and then comes back.
Come on.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, I can hear you, Lena. Hiya, bro.
Gotcha, Lena. Good morning. How are you? I'm all right.
I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ear. Well, I turn to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. And I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Can you feel it? It's a brand new day. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on S3. It is a Tuesday morning. Ryle, my brother, first time on screen in a while.
I'm so excited. This is enough to celebrate, man. I've been waiting for this day. Remember, you were literally like one of the first people that interviewed me as a guest on the show years ago, and I looked up to you ever since, man. This is like a dream.
Dude, listen, I'll say it on national TV right now. Dude, I'm so proud of your journey, man. You did phenomenal, and it's a privilege to stand here next to you, man.
Thanks for having me. Welcome back. I don't even know what to say, but I'm just happy, and I hope you are too, Mzansi, because it's Tuesday, and of course it's Tuesday as well. We're choosing to spend it with you. I've chosen to spend it with this beautiful man as well, and it's time to be inspired by the beautiful world around us.
Absolutely. Now, this morning, we're going to be connecting with the team from Green Pop ahead of their Reforest Festival. It's a fantastic festival who's on a mission to reconnect people with the planet, more specifically to get people involved in forest restoration.
Yes, I'm absolutely here for this.
We're
Nature
showing up.
Boy is screaming with delight. And we're also going to be doing something special as well. It's not only just the forest, but the ocean too. We are gearing up to the Wavescape Festival to put SA's spotlight on ocean conservation, as well as their famous exhibitions of artistic surfboards on auction.
Oh man,
yes.
and those
You ready for this, brother?
Dude, those surfboards are insane. We're going to have a jaw. Let's kick this Tuesday into gear. Good morning, Graham.
Oh, get a studio, you two. Come on, man. I'm so glad you guys have reconnected, and we are reconnecting with you. It's going to be one of those shows. I have a feeling this is going to be a really special one. Yes, we are focused on all things green, the outdoors, this beautiful planet, blue planet that it is that we get to savor and enjoy, and we're going to do that as much as possible this morning. But of course, when we focus on climate change, when we focus on energy on our beautiful planet, there's one gateway all South Africans are having to go through right now, and that's load shedding. So let's have a little bit of fun. And this isn't one of those wrong answers only situations, okay? We need to keep it PG. But if you had to write a book, okay, about load shedding, what would that title be? The Inverter. Dun, dun, dun. Denzel Washington style goes in, sorts people's bad electricity out. I don't know. Maybe you've got a personal narrative, something that sparked you. Maybe you've got a product or a service you want to put out there. This is your opportunity to have a little bit of fun. Yes, I know there are very dark sides to the story, but as South Africans, we've got to find a little bit of light. So that's what we, excuse the pun, are going to be doing this morning, putting a little light bulb moment on every one of our segments today, because it's going to get you thinking. So let's start on on that critical thinking platform right now and get into those news headlines. Then I'm going to touch on the sport. And I've got to tell you, this was just a normal, no-lack little treacher, and then when it saw those two guys on air, so beautiful, and that chemistry, just sparkles appeared. Look at that. That doesn't happen every day. Absolutely amazing.
Graham. All right, let's kick off with those official duties for this Tuesday morning. Starting off with your national news headlines. President Cyril Ramaphosa last night announced changes to his cabinet. The ANC Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, succeeds David Mabuze as Deputy President. Ramaphosa also established two new portfolios, a Minister of Electricity and a Minister of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation. Both are in the presidency. The former advisor on infrastructure, Kosiensho Ramakopa, was appointed Minister of Electricity, and the new ANC Deputy Secretary General, Maropene Ramakopa, as the Minister of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation. Zizi Kodwa is the new Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, and Patricia de Lille, the new Minister of Tourism. And then Acting Public Service and Administration Minister Thula Nkesi has urged striking members of the National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union to return to work. Workers affiliated to the union downed tools yesterday, demanding a wage increase of between 10 and 12%. On Saturday, the department obtained a court interdict against the planned Monday strike, but on Sunday, the union filed an application to appeal the ruling. Yesterday, the Labour Court upheld the interdict prohibiting public sector workers from embarking on an indefinite strike. Making international news headlines this morning, the Archbishop of Kenya's Anglican Church says England will no longer be the leader of the global Anglican Church following a change in teaching to allow priests to marry same-sex couples. Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit said the church's teaching that homosexuality was a sin would not change. Archbishops representing 10 of the 42 provinces in the Anglican Communion have said they no longer consider the Archbishop of Canterbury their leader. And Kenya's First Lady Rachel Ruto has declared national prayers against homosexuality in the country. Then the Taliban's treatment of women and girls in Afghanistan could amount to a crime against humanity. This says a UN report presented yesterday at the Human Rights Council in Geneva. The Taliban seized power in August 2021, drastically curtailing women's freedoms and rights, including them attending high school and university. The UN Special Reporter on the situation of human rights in Afghanistan, Richard Bennett, found that the Taliban's treatment of women and girls may amount to gender persecution, a crime against humanity. And of late, several parts of South Africa have been plagued by flooding, with KwaZulu-Natal probably being hit the hardest. Flood victims there say they are deeply grateful for the constant support they receive from non-governmental organizations, and this as the Red Cross Society has presented cash voucher donations to the value of some 3 million rand to more than 1,000 Durban flood victims. The homes of Ketiwe Mbonambi and Truth Cormor from Waterloo in Durban were destroyed by floods in April last year. They say the vouchers they received will assist their families. Mbonambi said, and I quote, "Red Cross has supported us from the beginning. We're really grateful to them." And Cormor added, "Red Cross brought us nappies for our kids and other things." Now, yesterday was truly a surprise when they gave us 2,250 rand. The training coordinator at the Red Cross Society, Siyabonga Hlatswayo, said they would continue supporting flood victims until they become self-reliant. Definitely some fantastic work by the Red Cross. That's your first news update for your Tuesday morning. Right now, let's get into the sports.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Well, it feels like 7 years since I last spoke about sport, Ryle, but I'm not going to be talking about 7 today. We're going to start with cricket this morning. And Aiden Markham, I'm sure, feeling incredibly proud. He's been named as the Proteas' new T20 captain as Cricket South Africa confirmed the squads for the upcoming T20 and ODI series up against the West Indies. The 28-year-old batsman takes over from Themba Bavuma, who stepped down as South Africa's T20 captain last month. Bavuma, who remains the ODI captain, also didn't crack a nod in the T20 squad as a playing member. Gives you a bit of an understanding of the move. Now, other notable appointments include the confirmation of JP Durmany as full-time white ball batting coach, which is brilliant, and Rory Kleinfeldt as interim white ball bowling coach, two fantastic exponents. And staying with cricket, England were bowled out for 196 as Bangladesh avoided a one-day international series clean sweep with a 50-run win in Chittagong. So having already taken an unassailable 2-0 series lead, England England restricted Bangladesh to 246 all out, but the visitors lost 3 wickets in just 8 balls from 54 for nothing, and were bowled out for 41 balls of their innings still remaining. Bangladesh's Shakib Al Hassan took 4 for 35 in that effort after striking 75 with the bat in hand. Then on to football. Paris Saint-Germain striker Neymar is set to miss the rest of the season as he now needs surgery on an ankle injury. The Brazilian forward was carried off with an injured ankle. That was during PSG's 4-3 home win over Lille on the 19th of February. PSG say the 31-year-old has suffered several instances of instability in that right ankle over recent years, and surgery is now needed to avoid a major risk of reoccurrence. He scored 13 League One goals and contributed another 10 assists for PSG this season. They really do need him. Then on to tennis. World number 1 Novak Djokovic has now withdrawn from this week's Indian Wells Masters event, with the Serb now unable to enter the United States. The 22-time Grand Slam winner, who's now 35 years old, had applied for special permission to enter the US because he is not vaccinated against COVID-19. The US requires international visitors to be vaccinated, and proof will be then required until at least the 10th of April. Djokovic missed last year's US Open because of his vaccination status, so we'll certainly watch that space. But that's where we leave our sport for now. It's a brand new day, so let's get into that weather and also take a look at what the world looked like above your neck of the woods.
Thank you so much, G. Yes, it's time to take a look at weather, and starting off with weather news first up this morning. Mozambican weather authorities say moderate cyclone Freddy is returning to the Mozambique Channel, and projections are that the Zambezia as well as Sofala regions may be hit. Now, Friday is a very long-lived, intense tropical cyclone, now re-strengthening over the Mozambique Channel. And last month, a powerful cyclone affected the Mascarene Islands, Madagascar, as well as Mozambique. Now, it is one of only 4 systems on record to traverse the entirety of the southern Indian Ocean from east to west. Now, meteorologists say Freddy is currently moving at a speed of some 13 kilometers per hour towards the southwest coast of Madagascar. Now, Mozambique's National Institute of Meteorology has predicted continued heavy rains. Now, more than 200 millimeters in 24 hours over the ocean, and winds of up to 110 kilometers per hour, accompanied by gusts of up to 150 kilometers per hour, which could result in waves up to 3 meters high. Now, the Institute has warned people to take precautionary as well as safety measures. Well, from our sunrise views, we head over to those updates of your incredible sunrise pictures this morning, and I cannot wait for it. Starting us off this morning, we've got Felina from East London, who captured a dusty shot of the clouds just before the sun peaks up and all that power comes through for the day. I absolutely love that one. Andrew Harris is next up, and he shared a stunning view of the sky, lighting it up on his way to work in Belito. And come on, what a beautiful, promising glow of nothing but magic for the day. Next up, we got Sandy Medal, who showcased the creative sunrise view with a silhouette of the pretty leaves in Shoshanguve. And what a beautiful shot. Looks like a pastel painting. Last up for this morning's 7 o'clock update, we've got Charmaine from Van Dyke Park sharing an orange-filled sky peeking between the trees. And oh, are we not here for them? Mzansi, I absolutely love these pictures you've sent through, and please keep it coming because we love to see how you start your day. And you can use the number 063-408-8863 to send in those pictures and videos. Please bring it on. But now, though, it's time to take our first look at the rest of the temperatures across the country, starting off in Polokwane. The day starting at a low of 16 up to 26 degrees. Umbela sees the day starting at 18 up to 27. Pretoria, thunder expected from 16 up to 28 degrees. And Johannesburg, 15 is your low up to a high of 27 degrees with thunder definitely coming through on your side of the world. Moving over to Mahikeng now, the day starting at 17 up to 29 with thunder expected. Klerksdorp much the same, 16 up to 28. Kimberley, 17 is your low up to a warm 33 degrees, but you can also expect some rainfall. And Bloemfontein, very similar conditions, 15 up to 29 with moderate rainfall expected. Moving across the bay now and over to Richards Bay specifically, rain is expected, 20 is your low up to a high of 28. Pietermaritzburg sees the day starting at 18 up to 24. Durban, 22 is your low up to a high of 27 degrees with rain coming through. And Mthatha, 18 is your low up to a high of 25 degrees Celsius. Moving around the coast and carrying on to East London now. Much of this rainfall will be welcomed. 22 is your low up to a high of 24 degrees. Cradock sees the day starting at 16 up to 29. GQ Kleberga, 19 up to 23. And George, 16 years old up to 21. And let's hope that all this rain does land in those catchment areas. But of course, moving over, last but not least, to the mother city, 16 is your low, up to a high of 25 degrees. Worcester sees the day starting at 13 up to 25 with rain expected. Sutherland, 9 is your low, up to 19 degrees. And Uppington, even with all the rain coming through, still producing the heat. 14 is your low, up to a high of 37 degrees Celsius. Again, Mzansi saying thank you for sending those incredible pictures in. Of course, speaking of heat, here's one man that is dying to get you to turn his heat up another level.
I most certainly need your style advice, my family, this morning. Now, all right, when it comes to dressing for any occasion, chinos, it makes the perfect outfit every single time. Now, it is hashtag Tuesday, and I need you to help me style these slim fit chinos. I've got some lacquer white sneaks out here. Now, here's the options. Option 1 is a white crew neck t-shirt style with a plain snub shirt and a khaki hooded puffer for a warm, stylish look on that side. Option 1. And option 2, a long sleeve tee-style design with a navy slub shirt and a funnel coat for an elegant look on this side. Now, I'm not sure exactly. I need your help. Yesterday, I was dressed in blue, so I am leaning towards that side, but it is all up to you this morning. The wish is yours. Head over to our Expresso social media pages and vote for your favorite look. Don't forget to include hashtag styled by Woolies, and I'll get dressed just for you on this Tuesday morning.
Join the bank that's best for your money. Nedbank. See money differently.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. It's going to be one of those very special days. I know this because I got to stare into the eyes of a very special little girl this morning. And before we introduce you, though, let's give a bit of context. World Birth Defects Day takes place annually on the 3rd of March, recognizing all birth defects as we term them. It aims to raise awareness of the causes of birth defects and the impact around the world, because there is a massive ripple effect. So let's put it in context again. In Southern Africa, around 11,000 children are born with clubfoot every year. And if it is left untreated, many children will then have congenital defects. They're forced to live a life of essentially disability. And here to chat more about this topic is Gabrielle Rademacher, who is the coordinator at STEPS, and then Carleen Minnie, who's brought along a little scene stealer, Madison, currently being treated for Clubfoot.
Good morning.
Ladies,
Good morning.
welcome to it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Can we just acknowledge first and foremost the cuteness of little Madison? She is adorable. You said she's 8 months old now.
Yeah.
And the posture's fantastic.
Yes.
Well done, Mom.
She's owning her
Smashing
space
it.
this morning, that is for sure. Gabrielle, let's start talking about this. What exactly, Clubfoot, when we speak about Clubfoot, what exactly is it, and why is it detrimental if left untreated for a young baby?
So Clubfoot is a condition that's present at birth. Here, I have an example for you.
Okay.
Where the foot is twisted inwards at the ankle and pointed downwards. And the tendons will be very stiff and tight, and the foot's very rigid.
Okay.
So that's a clubfoot.
What drives that? Is it the tendons itself? Is it something with the mechanism of that muscle and tendon function? Is it the structure of the bone? What is actually going on to lead to the structure?
So it's a tightening of the tissue within the ankle. They don't know all that much about why and how it happens, because it just happens. You can't really prevent it. And then it can also sometimes be the position that the baby's
was in the womb, yeah.
In the womb, but then it's slightly different. Then the structure on the inside isn't. The structure on the inside of the foot isn't different. It's just because it's been held in that
Held
position.
like that, and
So it's
obviously
a
that's
much-
how the tendons then kind of
Yes.
formed and shortened, I
Yes.
suppose.
So that would be a positional clubfoot, much easier to treat. It sort of just goes quite quickly, whereas the congenital one, where there's a genetic defect, so to speak, within the foot, it's more difficult to correct.
Sure.
This word terrifies me. Defective. I will slap you across your face. You call my baby defective in any way.
Yeah, I think the thing to remember is it's not a death sentence. You know, it can be treated.
What has your experience been like with young Madison going through a process like this?
Well, I think obviously for every parent it is traumatic and it's a challenge, but it's been good. And obviously we've got the wonderful people at STEPS helping us, and you know, we keep going to all our doctor's appointments, and every day and every week just gets closer and closer to, you know, that time which will be completely won't have any
Be free of it.
Yeah.
I suppose the danger here is because she's going through such a critical developmental phase. We joke about posture and those sorts of things. You are already terrified as a parent that you're not doing everything, that you're missing a milestone, that you haven't got it right, that your genes are going to weigh in this. How did you go through that mental transition? Because you're giving such a beautiful, calm energy right now, which I know comes with the mommying. Yes, you're also giving a beautiful energy right now. Not quite so calm,
you the
Madison.
stare, my
All right,
friend.
I know it's all on you. I know that you're the one driving this, but as a parent, especially going through this phase, how did you wrap your head around it? Did you have to have that talk with yourself? Did someone else have to have that talk with you? How did you galvanize yourself into this positive mindset?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is having your support system around and be knowledgeable, reading up, and you know, seeing how, like I said, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. You know, it can. With all this treatment that they're getting, they won't be disabled. And I think just focusing on the long term than the short term.
Because there's so much more than this condition. So much
Exactly,
more.
yeah.
We're going to get to what STEPS are doing in just a moment. You guys are not going to go anywhere. How is little Madison today? Is she doing well? Is she moving about like a baby
Look at
should?
these beautiful feet.
Look at those beautiful feet. You can't,
Yeah,
No.
you won't even know.
How severe was the clubfoot with Maddie?
With hers, yeah, she had,
Really?
yeah, she was completely, her foot was completely turned in like that
Wow.
on one side. So, yeah, and she's on the maintenance phase now. So she's gone through all the casting and so on, and now we're on just what they call a boots and a bar.
She keeps looking at all of us like, y'all trying to steal the credit for my wonderful story. There is one real little hero in the works here, and I love the fact that this in no way seems to be slowing her down or affecting that beautiful nature. So well done to you for getting to this point. That in itself is hope enough that there is treatment, there is a community of people waiting to help you. We're going to continue to discuss Clubfoot specifically as it relates to young children. If you've got any insights, please let us know. 0634088863. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely love the conversation. Looks like Maddie's wide awake, ready for it, and everybody else is. And that means it's time for you this morning to get up off the couch or out of bed and move those beautiful bodies you've been blessed with. Yes, and we've got an incredible workout happening for you this morning, right? We're talking about chairs, which have gotten a bad rep lately, but too much sitting and not enough moving is what it's causing. So chair workouts are for so many people. If you're recovering from an injury or surgery, if you need extra support during pregnancy, or even balance challenges, a chair is your ticket to an awesome sweat. So I put together a workout to do just that. It's something that might humble you, but at the same time, we're using humble pieces of household items, just like a chair, to capitalize on all this magic. So Zanzi, get up and enjoy this one. Let's move.
Oh yes, welcome back, you beautiful people. Do we have an absolute gem for you today? We're working the upper body, we're moving outside, no equipment needed whatsoever, except something that you all have at home. It's a chair. You can even use a bunkie or anything that can support your weight and is raised above the ground. Today we're working a full upper body session, 5 exercises in total, 30 seconds on and then 30 seconds rest, and that'll complete 1 set. And if you're really feeling up to it, you can go for 3 sets in total. Right now though, we're gonna show you the entire workout. Colton's gonna be doing all these standard exercises. If you're struggling with any of the movements, you can watch me, because I'll show you a graded version that you can use to start off with, and hopefully use this as your incentive to get you all the way to the top. All right, straight into our first exercise. It's a push-up with a front raise. So essentially, we're going into that push-up position. I go from a push-up, maintaining good stability, raise that arm in the air, and straight back down for a restart. Again, if this is a bit of a struggle for you, you can do the exact same movement, but plant your knees on the ground, and again, into a push-up, and then straight into the front raise. You'll feel good stimulation on the shoulders, on the scapula, as well as your chest. Let us begin with our workout in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I'm on the knees with a push-up. Colton's doing the standard version. Raise the arm in the air, and then straight back to that restart. Keep going for 30 seconds in total, maintaining a good neutral spine, engaging that core, and stacking those hands just above the shoulders. Make sure you aren't flaring your arms out, but getting those elbows to go back behind the body. Keep moving, people. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful stuff. That's exercise number 1 done. You got 30 seconds. Take a breath, relax, and enjoy this. What you want to do now, though, is grab the chair, and we're going to start focusing on the rest of the upper body. So we're working the pec once again, as well as the tricep and a little bit of the shoulders. So grabbing your chair, you want to rest both of your hands on the corners of your chair. You want to get your glute off the chair and have your feet firmly planted on the ground with a 90-degree bend. And then simply raising yourself up off the chair and lowering once again. All right, 5 seconds. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Let's move nice and low, and then squeezing at the top, working that shoehorn and working that tricep. Keep moving, quality over quantity. You want to go for 30 seconds in total, making sure that you're using your arms and not your legs to support you, to raise you off the ground, and especially to work those triceps too. Hang in there, guys. 30 seconds in total. Whew, feel the burn. Got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, that's time. All right, 30 seconds break once again. You've earned that one. We're moving over to exercise number 3's explanation right now. You're gonna bring your chair to the front, and you're gonna rest your hands in a diamond position right now. If this is a little bit too hard for you, you can do the exact same thing off the wall and angle yourself. But essentially, I'm resting my hands in a diamond position off the chair. My body is essentially at about 45 degrees and going down for a push-up, and then straight back into that restart. In 5 seconds, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go down, hold that, good control, and straight back up. You'll feel a good stimulation of the shoulders, triceps are working, as well as those pecs once again, making sure that the force of your hands are almost pushing in a direction that they're going towards each other. Big squeeze, hang in there for 30 seconds, quality over quantity. Whew. All right, guys. 5 more seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booyah! That is how you do it. Already 3 exercises in the bag. You got yourselves a 30-second break. What we're going to be doing now is something really, really special and really, really fun. It's a pike push-up. So Colton's going to be doing the advanced version. I'm going to be doing the version off the knee. Essentially, whether you're off the knee or off the chair, you want to make sure that you don't flare your elbows to the side. So once again, getting a 3-start position, hands underneath the shoulders, your head creates a triangle, and you're going back to that restart. All right, in 5 seconds, let's go. 3, 2, 1. All right, watch me in the graded position. Head goes down, straight back to restart. Colton, as you can see, great form off the chair. He's getting his head to go into that diamond position for the triangle, and then straight back to his restart. 30 seconds in total. Hang in there, stay nice and strong. Beautiful form, Colton. Beautiful stuff, people. Stick with us. Whew. Almost there. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's time. Woohoo! Beautiful stuff. 4 exercises done and dusted. We got 1 more left, and this one is so much fun. So it's a high plank. Colton's going to be doing the elite version once again off the chair. I'm going straight off the ground into that high plank position. If you want to, you can incorporate a weight here as well. But from this position, holding the high plank, doing a high pull and rotating and alternating on either side. All right, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good form, try not to sway those hips too much, and make sure that you're getting a good squeeze of the scapula, getting that upper back to really bring that shoulder and bring that elbow nice and high, driving as if you're almost kick-starting or starting a lawnmower. And if you want to, you can increase the intensity by putting a weight in your hand for this one. And that's really going to work the upper back even more. Maintain a neutral spine, keep your core engaged, and hang in there, people. This is the last one. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! It is done and dusted. That's how you do it. 5 exercises in the bag. That was so simple, but that's how you get the pump. I hope you absolutely enjoyed that one. Once again, how simple was that? No equipment whatsoever. Household items can be used as your gym equipment hack of the day, and we're encouraging you to move wherever you are. Outside, inside, use the body you were blessed with, and we'll see you for the next one. Woo!
Now he's smiling. What I like is watching the 7 stages of grief go through Carlton's face as he realizes that he's in it for the long
He
haul.
did well, man. Remember, he was doing the elite exercises, and you can too as well, Mzansi. So if you want to get to that level, do what Carlton was doing. But if you're still trying to get there, then you can attempt my workouts first. Yeah.
But I love the fact that, I mean, you only had a chair, my friend.
How cool is
There's
that?
no weights, there's no fancy equipment, it was a chair.
No
Shows you.
excuses whatsoever to move those beautiful bodies. And of course, more of these exercises will be dropping in the weeks, and you can follow along and get those guns busting out.
Magic Mike is like, hold my beer.
I got this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3. Now we are continuing our discussion around Clubfoot with Gabrielle Rademeyer, who is a coordinator at Steps, and Colleen Minnie, whose daughter Madison is currently being treated for Clubfoot. Now, it is so common in Southern and East Africa that the inaugural Clubfoot Africa Conference held in November 2022 attracted virtual and physical attendees from 43 countries, all congregating to discuss the latest techniques, knowledge, and solutions available to treat clubfoot.
Yep, and you're getting your cheerleading in. Madison is congratulating
she's
everyone who
waving.
came
Good
through. Thank
morning.
you so much. You're all amazing. Yay. Oh, and she just clocked herself on TV for the first time. We know what you're going to do when you grow up.
Yeah.
And she, of course, is free to do what she wants to do when she grows up, because clearly her treatment is working. Gabrielle, maybe talk us through some of those treatment options. Let's get practical here. What is the process that we follow, and what do you look at when approaching a case? Because every baby is an individual little thing. How do you start treatment, and what do you look at?
So the treatment that's the gold standard now in South Africa is the treatment we advocate, and it's the Ponseti method.
Ponseti.
So the old way of fixing it, which is still used in some countries, is surgery.
Okay.
And where the doctor will, it has to be an orthopedic surgeon, will cut open the foot, sort of realign the bones and joints, lengthen the tendons. But this is not the best solution, because it can often
we're
lead
talking about a baby here, and that's super invasive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the scar tissue, it often leads to more surgeries needed, a lot of pain. So the Ponseti method is a soft and gentle manipulation. So when you start out with a foot like this, there's a soft manipulation by the doctor, and then there's a series of weekly casts. So each week, the foot's then held.
Slowly.
Exactly. It's a slow movement, and after about 6 to 8 casts, the foot is then in the correct position. So the earlier we start, the better. How old was Madison when she started?
3 weeks old.
3 weeks old.
Wow, so you get
babies
started.
just they're soft.
I guess you know the earlier you start, the better. But generally, I know that every baby is different, and every condition, and severity is different. But how long is this process typically?
So if you start early enough, it can be 6 to 8 weeks. And it also depends on how experienced the doctors are. So in South Africa, we've been running the Ponseti method for years. So our doctors are very experienced.
Some of the best in the world, as I understand it.
Exactly, especially in the main clinics. A lot of rural clinics, and that's where we'll go and train. But, most of our doctors at the main clinics are very proficient in Ponseti. And then once you get to the corrected position, in 80% of cases, the last little bit is you need to lengthen the heel cord, because the heel is up, so the Achilles tendon.
These are very strong.
Yeah, and they're very tight. So they'll clip it. Did Madison have a tenotomy?
Yes, she did.
So they'll clip it, and what's amazing about children is it'll regenerate in 3 weeks.
Oh, for sure.
And when we pop
So
our
quickly.
Achilles tendon, how long does it take?
Yeah, we are.
Baby
Never
cells.
the same.
We love baby cells. We absolutely love that. I'm just thinking from my own parenting perspective, being able to do something must be such a powerful tool in the beginning, to be able to start treatment that early. How much of a shift in the way that you approach parenting have you had to structure around this and the treatment? How have you put it in perspective? What is day-to-day? Maybe that's a good way to approach it, look like for you guys through this treatment process. What's that been like?
So I think a day-to-day, it all depends on each stage of the treatment is different, because in the beginning you'd have the casting, so you'll be like no baths and that type of thing, obviously trying to get clothes that fit around the cast. And then obviously she goes onto the boots and bars, which is those little shoes, and it's got a bar in between that they will wear, and to maintain the feet then in that correct position. And again, I think it's just the mobility of trying to carry the kid and put them somewhere. But yeah, it's somebody who I was fortunate enough to have somebody I know whose child also had clubfoot. And the way she gave me such perspective in the sense that you would be a worse parent if you didn't correct it.
Yeah.
Because in the long term, they would have the disability and the pain. But, because in the beginning you feel, you know, it's all for having.
You're putting them
have-
through that.
And I'm sure
exactly.
just having the options of help available through you know organizations like
Yes.
Steps, you know, puts a mom at ease. You know, when you hold that newborn baby, I mean, you want everything to be perfect. You want everything to be just absolutely moonshine and roses. But then you're faced with a condition, and knowing that it can be solved and it can be fixed. I mean, it must be a huge relief for you as well.
Yes, exactly. Knowing that, I mean, should be able to have a normal life like any other children, running around and wearing proper shoes and, you know, that mobility for herself.
And
Maybe with a
she
little
will.
extra metal because she's had to face a
Yeah.
challenge from the very
Exactly.
first
This is what we
steps.
find with these kids, is the poor parents. It's much harder on the parents than it is on the
For
kids.
sure.
Hugely. And you wouldn't think it now, but Madison is currently in treatment. So now the feet are straight and she's just wearing the brace at night.
Yeah.
So you're obviously very good at it, you know, with kids. You let them get
Consistency,
away with something once and you pay
and
for
it's
it.
tickets.
Well, yeah, sorry to interrupt. That's exactly what, like Gabby says, keep persisting.
Yeah.
Just push through it, push through it. It's not nice, but because at the end of the day, it pays off, you know.
Yeah.
You
Well,
get the-
clearly, we're looking
the
at a beautiful
results.
little girl who is ready to rock. Oh, you know, help us all when she does start running around.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. It does bring to bear the need to connect and create and empower the community in this space. We're going to continue to do that with the rest of this discussion. But first, I need something to eat, buddy. Can you go cook for me, please?
I'll grab you something, my man.
Wait.
Fueled by Madison's energy right now, it's time to step into the kitchen for a healthy 5-ingredient recipe that's bursting with delicious flavor. Bring it on!
Clover No Lac, lactose-free milk that lets you enjoy dairy again. Made with love by Clover.
Yes, we're making it with love, of course, and this recipe has to be one of the easiest ones out there. It's just 5 ingredients, that's all we need, and you'll get to enjoy a Clover No Lac broccoli loaf that's packed with vitamin C and will have everyone wanting another slice. And of course, I got my man here to do the things. Of course, our first time in the kitchen, I think, as well,
Yes,
right?
my friend, and I'm looking forward to this. I love seeing broccoli, spring onion, garlic, eggs. That's some of my
colours.
favorite ingredients, dude, all in one.
Nutrient boxes are getting picked
Bam,
here
bam,
proper, so
bam.
we can do this like tag team right now.
Okay.
What I need from you is, if you can for me, you got to chop up the broccoli. What you have there is garlic, broccoli, and some chives, and you're essentially going to kind of flash that in the pan.
All right.
So while you're chopping that up, I'll explain to Mzansi what I'm doing over here on this side. So this is kind of going to create like this base. It's almost like a quiche style bread that we're doing. I've got 5 eggs in the bowl already. We're going to add to this with our wet ingredients. Of course, we've got some chutney. That's going to give us a nice little tang. We've got some flakes going in here as well. Depending on how strong you like it, of course, you can vary the chili flakes. I know a lot of people out here say, bring the heat. How are you with your heat there?
Oh, dude, I love spicy
Is it?
food.
Bring it on,
I
right?
really
All right.
do.
Little
You know,
extra
you can
pizzazz
go,
for
you
you.
can go. No, I find chilies, it's such a good addition to food. I don't know, you know, either you love it or you hate it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. But I think it definitely does add that like pop of magic to a lot of people's dishes. It's
Oh,
like
man.
they can't go without a little bit of that like tang, a little bit of that like
You gotta have that
spice.
kick, bro. You gotta have that kick.
All right,
Okay.
while Ewan's putting the pan on, just so I can explain what's happening on my side, obviously I put the salt, pepper in with my chili flakes and, of course, the chutney. I'm not putting all the cheese in, so take note of that. The rest of this cheese is going to come through later once we've mixed all these ingredients together. And, of course, let us not forget the hero ingredient over here, and that is No Lac. And, of course, for you and Mzansi with Clover's No Lac, you can enjoy dairy again with those versatile lactose-free range. Now, Clover No Lac is pre-treated with the enzyme lactase. Now, this is to break down lactose that makes it nutrient-rich and easier to digest so that everybody can enjoy some of this magic. So, a half a cup is going into this wet mix right now, and then I'm essentially going to whisk it all up and wait for those beautiful fried up greens.
So do we
to come
just want
through.
to kind of fry this a little bit softer?
Yeah, I think just flash it up because essentially this is going to be baked for about 30 to 45 minutes.
So it is going
at
to soften up
180. Yeah,
nicely.
so if you soften it up too much now, you're kind of just going to be left with like
All right.
dead greens.
You just get
I like
that-
a little bit of that crunch still in my loaf. I don't know about you.
True, yeah.
All right.
They always say don't overdo veggies.
Yes,
You know, keep it
yes.
in as raw as you can.
Yeah,
Then
I'm
you get that
definitely
help.
like that. The more like crunch I get in it, the more like fresh it feels to me. So I kind
Yes.
of almost feel in my mind like I'm healthier just by having it.
True, right? Yeah, because I mean, if you have it raw, I mean, if you overcook it, you break down those fibers. That
Yes.
means so much for your internal workings.
Look at this young chef in the making, even with the tips. I like it.
What do we do with this now?
So essentially, your greens are going to go into the mix that I've just put together in my baking tray. So I've got my wet ingredients. You can add the greens into that. We're going to infuse it all together.
I like it.
And this is essentially what's going
smell that garlic, bro.
Oh, yes.
How nice is that?
You smell that freshness as well, too, man. This is what makes things come alive.
There we go.
Beautiful form,
that in
beautiful stuff. We're going to mix this all together. Essentially, every bite of this loaf is going to give you a nutrient crunch like you cannot imagine. Look at that.
Good, dude.
Yeah, it's almost like imagine you like loaded up an omelet.
Yeah.
It almost reminds you of something like that, but don't be fooled. This is not an omelet. This is actually going to turn into a loaf.
Exactly, but what you would know that, I mean, this has got fiber, it's got protein, it's got
fiber,
energy.
protein, nutrients, energy.
So this
all the
would
good
constitute
stuff.
as a good snack at work as well.
Even some good fat coming from the egg as well. Again, like we said, we've got protein coming in from the egg white. So this is literally ticking all the boxes. Say no more when it comes to bread. I'll have another slice. This goes in the oven for 45 minutes, and then you, myself, and Ewan are done with lunch. We are sorted, man. Our gains are here.
Our gains are here. Listen, if you want to have the recipe, I definitely think you should try this one out. It is a go-to, expressoshow.com. That is where you'll find the ingredients and the steps on how to make it.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, you're going to
That's so delicious. I can't resist, man.
Go for it, go for it. I can't believe you're just not offering me anything.
I'm sorry.
This
one's for you.
You know what I'm saying?
Grab it, grab it. Wait. Let me get you one as well. All for you, brother. Enjoy it.
Oh,
Cheers,
you feel bad now. Fine. Cheers. Oh, that's good.
Nice, yeah?
That's really good.
What do you think?
Again, I'm talking with my mouth full, but
I know, I can't help
but it's so good.
not doing that, but I can't not get a TV bite in because it tastes so good. And for you, Mzansi, want to get some of this taste as well, then get this recipe right now because you're absolutely going to love your full face, mouth, a mouth full of enjoyment.
Made with love by Clover.
This is nothing. This is just who we are.
Ai, o Alfredo.
We date Italian.
So, Florence.
We drive Italian. Living la dolce vita. And now you can see. That's what it is. Gahle gahle. We're Italian. Perfect. That's why I was pizza. I'm Italiano. And we always eat Italian. Every day. Fettis and mornings. Bravo to you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we wrap up our discussion around Clubfoot with Gabrielle Rademacher, who is a coordinator at STEPS and very kindly stepped in to educate us this morning, and Carleen Minnie, whose daughter, gorgeous little fierce force of nature Madison, is currently being treated for Clubfoot very successfully, we might add. And to give a bit of context, Clubfoot is the most common musculoskeletal birth deformity and affects approximately 150,000 to 200,000 children every year, but there are treatments available. So thank you so much for guiding us through the first steps of that process.
Before we continue with the discussion, we received a picture from one of our viewers, Deirdre, who as a child had to wear these special boots. She's a mature young lady now, but she sent us this picture. If we can throw it up on the screen very quickly. Wow. There we have it to see there. So what do you make of that? Thank you very much, Deirdre, for sharing. Appreciate it.
So that's the part of the treatment called the maintenance phase, which is what Madison is going through now. So the foot's been corrected, the heel cord has been lengthened. Now to maintain that position, the little ones have to wear a brace, but only when they sleep.
Yeah, only when.
And that's until you're about 4 or 5 years old.
I quickly got to ask, sorry, Graham, misconceptions around Clubfoot. We see now those numbers are very high. So many babies are born with it. So many babies are affected with Clubfoot. But what are some of the misconceptions, I think, in general, with people out there?
So we're always up against the stigma, especially here with the ancestors. You know, the mother either ate something wrong, drank something wrong, didn't conduct her life.
Well, a reason is attributed to it, for sure.
Yes, and, you know, the way we deal with that is just education as much as possible. Just educate. We have amazing educational resources. We've translated it into 6 different African languages. So we supply them to all the clinics. We work in 38 clinics in South Africa and Southern Africa, some in Namibia and Botswana as well. And we just educate as much as possible. And because we have people working in the clinics, they can take the parent aside and talk to them. Whereas in a low-resourced sort of clinic, you don't get one-on-one with the doctor.
Well, there's no relationship with the doctor, and I think we often underplay that because we just want to get awareness out there. We want to reach as many people as possible, but it does require selfless individuals going above and beyond. That's
some of these doctors deal with 90 patients a day.
Well, this is it.
How are they going to have to talk you through it, how to look after the cast, to make sure it isn't cracking, then to check this, then to check that, then to make sure the brace is on? They just don't get the time, so we take that burden off the state.
I absolutely love that, and I hope that this is connecting a strategic network and extending that network. And I'm going to ask you to think about what you need, and you're going to scream it into that camera just now in terms of fighting this battle. Exactly. I know. Don't give me the over-the-shoulder dragon, man. That was brilliant.
Colleen, I've got to quickly ask, I mean, for you that's been going through this process, but, you know, you can obviously see how happy Maddie is at this stage. You know, what advice can you offer for moms out there that's potentially dealing with the same situation, not knowing where to go, who to turn to?
Yes, so I would say definitely reach out if you can. They're on social media, on Google. So build your support network. You know, it's good to get the family and friends involved, and you know, everybody helps together. And read up. It's you know, empower yourself. There's lots of just like Gabby said, there's lots of education out there. You know, knowledge to do that. And push through. Push through, yeah.
Well, there's one thing a mom is going to do, and a dad. So I know we use that brush. We paint quite loosely. Yeah. I suppose the heartbreaking notion here is that this is something that can be addressed. And if we blanket this as a disability, we are already saying this is something that can't be transcended, but we're watching Maddie transcend this right now. In the most practical of senses right now, what do you guys need? What do you need from the rest of us? What do you need from your medical fraternity? How can we help?
Well, the obvious thing is always funds.
Funds. Money, please. Yeah.
So we've worked it out, and when children are visiting a state facility, it's only 2,500 Rand for the full 4 to 5 year treatment that's needed. That's all it costs. So we have a Backer Buddy campaign going where you can donate 60 Rand a month. It's a cup of coffee.
Sure.
How about a company just steps up and does like 10,000? Like that is so ridiculous. This whole ecosystem is manageable. Yeah. It really is. Thank you so much. Well, all you really needed to do was bring Maddie along, but thank you so much for doing what you do. every day. We really appreciate
And
you.
thanks to the moms and the kids and our doctors. Our doctors are amazing. They will train with us at no cost to themselves. They're always there to answer all the questions because we have created a network. That's exactly what we've done. Over the 38 clinics, we've created a network. The doctors from here will train the doctors from there. It really is amazing. And the conference really brought it all together. It was a pivotal moment in Clubfoot.
Well, thank you very much for your incredible work and perseverance. And Colleen, to you and Madison, all the best.
We won't talk about your lower back yet. That's for all the moms for next week. But please, if you do have a perspective or you can offer help, assistance, infrastructure, anything to aid this journey, please do 063-408-8863. Stay connected with us. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see pictures and videos. We want to see more gorgeousness like little Maddie. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Yay! Honestly, I'm feeling so inspired by the conversation. Maddie is full of energy right now. You can hear behind me. But of course, we're sticking to that topic of health this morning. And let's turn our attention to what you've just heard now, those healthcare professionals that we are so grateful for. Now, pharmacists are not only brave, but they inspire hope within their community. Now, Pharmacy of the Week is a short feature acknowledging our incredible pharmacists. Now, this is our way to say thank you to these brave healthcare workers, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram, OTC, sponsors of Brave. So let's look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week, and it is, of course, Van Heeren Pharmacy in Kempton Park.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
I have never, ever, I've worked in quite a few areas and I've never found so many friendly customers. I just like to help people, to make their day feel better. You know, people come in here, they're down and out. We're not just giving out tablets or medicine, we're also providing them with some comfort and, you know, talking about their family, what's happening in their lives. Pharmacists can help because we are readily available, or the customer don't have to have an appointment to come and see us, so they can just pop in and we can help them. I love pharmacy-initiated therapy because the customer walks in, we chat about their history and their medical problems, and I can advise them what they can use, what they can't use, and then they can make the informed decision on that. Brave, to me, it basically means to be scared and still rock up, and then help other people to get through their scaredness and difficult times. Now, Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave, have a lot of products so that we can cover every patient's needs.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. Inspiring communities, one pharmacy at a time.
Good times is what life is all about. But sometimes heartburn, indigestion, acid reflux and UTIs can really put a dampener on our days. This summer, make sure you have citrus soda as your good health companion, relieving you of all heartburn, indigestion and UTI symptoms. Let's get back to feeling good. Citrus soda brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
I mean, come on, how can you not be proud of these incredible human beings? And this is, again, a thank you to all our local pharmacies doing amazing things for their community. We absolutely appreciate you.
Yes, he needed a little help getting dressed this morning, and I know everyone put their hand up to volunteer, okay? We're going to help him get those threads on today a little bit earlier. Ewan gave you some great options to help him choose from, and you can understand why he was a little bit kind of conflicted today. Some great looks. So let's go through option one. A nice, it was a white crew neck t-shirt styled with a plain slub shirt with a khaki loaded puffer. Like the puffer. Then option two was the long sleeve design tee styled with a navy slub shirt and a funnel coat. So let's take a look at some of your votes. What did y'all have to say? Shireen, welcome. I think 80% of the time, Shireen is the first to get in. Good morning, Ewan, and happy Tuesday. I choose option one. I love the hooded puffer. Will go great with the rest of the outfit. Have a super day team. Lots of love. We love you too, Shireen. Magnolia saying, good morning, fam. Option one would look great on Yavis, even though the outfit he has on looks great as well. Kind of the best of both worlds. Ashwin saying option one will fit Ewan best, classic yet modern, and he will most definitely rock that look. Esme Henry saying good morning, option one for Ewan. A nice little strong arm. Lynette, or Lynn saying rather, Ewan will look stunning in option one. Lovely day to your. Lejean saying, again, we start to see a bit of a profile developing. Definitely going with option one. Love a classic look and something that makes you feel comfortable in. Option one is dominating, and bearing in mind that we do, yes, have ourselves an international male model to wear these clothes. So let's bring him back in here. Wow. Your aura is just pushing me out the way.
I'm sorry, just stay there.
Yeah,
stay there.
I love this. Wow, it is cool, eh?
It is cool. It is really cool. Yeah, let's me.
It's like
you know,
I often have to.
I feel it. I feel it. I love the puffer jacket.
Yeah, man.
I feel ready.
You know you're a South African man if you're rocking a green puffer. You know,
hey, bro.
Anywhere in the world, you see a green puffer walking along like that, you're like, hey, who's it? In Dubai, who's it?
Listen,
Lekker?
thank you very much for the help this morning. Man. I think you guys made the perfect choice. I really do.
And you did look fantastic, as everyone pointed out this morning. But I love this vibe.
Yeah.
And when the weather's cold, I know, you got to kind of, dress it up, but without too much clutter. It's great.
You know what I love about the Expresso family is the fact that they can see that this color goes with my skin tone.
Your olive,
you see,
it's my olive tone.
It works. You guys, man, thank you very much.
You nailed it. Thank you so much. Of course, you can look this cool. You can shop the cool look, the casual look, whatever you want to do. You can step out in elegance. And of course, you can pair it with those beautiful chinos while you do it. It's available right now, in-store, online, or on their app. Go and check it out.
And Model
Beautiful.
Walk.
Do it. Boom.
It's just about to go on the hour, and that means official duties must commence, and starting off with national news headlines. Now, the Special Investigating Unit, otherwise known as the SIU, has recovered 18 million rand linked to its road accident fund investigations. Now, the SIU has signed acknowledgements of debt with law firms and attorneys to the value of some 68 million rand. Now, this constitutes unlawful acts of appropriation. Now, the firms received duplicate payments from the Road Accident Fund as compensation to persons injured in motor vehicle accidents. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa authorized the SIU to investigate serious allegations of corruption and maladministration in the affairs of the RAF. Well, sticking to national news headlines, President Cyril Ramaphosa last night announced changes to his cabinet. Now, the ANC Deputy President Paul Mashatile succeeds David Mabuza as Deputy President. Now, Ramaphosa also established two new portfolios, a Minister of Electricity and a Minister of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation. Now, both are in the presidency, and the former advisor on infrastructure, Kgosientsho Ramakopa, was appointed Minister of Electricity, and the new ANC Deputy Secretary General Maropene Ramakgopa as the Minister of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation. Now, Zizi Kodwa takes over as Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, and Patricia de Lille as Minister of Tourism. Well, from our national news headlines, it's time to head over to international news, and starting off in Iran. Now, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has called the wave of suspected poisonings of schoolgirls in the recent months an unforgivable crime. Now, he warned and quoted, "If there are any people involved in the matter, and there certainly are, the perpetrators must be given the most severe of punishments," unquote. Now, more than 1,000 girls at dozens of schools have been affected by unexplained illnesses since November. Now, incidents were reported in at least 15 cities and towns on Sunday alone. Now, some Iranians believe the girls' schools are being targeted by hardline elements to stop them receiving an education. Well, next up on international news headlines, the Archbishop of Kenya's Anglican Church says England will no longer be the leader of the global Anglican Church following a change in teaching to allow priests to marry same-sex couples. Now, Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit said the church's teaching that homosexuality was a sin would not change. Now, archbishops representing 10 of the 42 provinces in the Anglican Communion have said they no longer consider the Archbishop of Canterbury their leader. And Kenya's First Lady Rachel Ruto has declared national prayers against homosexuality in the country. Interesting stuff indeed, but this leaves us with the last of the headlines. And last year, we brought you the story of Mr. Happy Face, a hairless Chinese crested Chihuahua mix, who was crowned the proud winner of the 2022 World's Ugliest Dog Contest. Well, believe it or not, entries for this year's competition are now officially open. Now, the light-hearted event will take place in June at the Sonoma Marin Fair in California in the US. Now, the winning beauty, or is that the winning ugly, I guess, will bag a prize of more than 27,000 Rand, as well as a trophy declaring her or him the world's ugliest dog. Now, the competition emphasizes the importance of, and quote, advocating for the adoration of all animals and the benefits of adopting. Now, particularly rescue and mixed breed dogs. So, if you think your dog has got it, or has got what it takes to be the ugly in this competition, well, what are you waiting for? The time is now. And on that funny note, I'll leave you with the rest of the headlines. Here's the latest when it comes to the sport with G.
It's going to take some beating. I think a lot of people have just retired their dogs from the competition. Beautiful stuff. Oh, let's start on a celebratory note then with cricket, and certainly a proud moment for Aiden Markram. He's been named as the Proteas' new T20 captain, as Cricket South Africa have confirmed their squads for the upcoming T20 and ODI series against the West Indies. The 28-year-old batsman takes over from Themba Bavuma, who stepped down as South Africa's T20 captain last month. Bavuma, who remains the ODI captain, also didn't crack a nod in the T20 squad as a playing member. Then other notable appointments include the confirmation of JP Dermody as full-time white ball batting coach. Brilliant move. Likewise, with the ball in hand, Rory Kleinfeldt as interim white ball bowling coach. And staying with cricket, but to action on the field, and there was plenty as England were bowled out for 196 as Bangladesh avoided a one-day international series clean sweep with a 50-run win in Chittagong. So having already taken an unassailable 2-0 series lead, England restricted Bangladesh to 246 all out, but the visitors then lost 3 wickets and 8 balls from a 54 for no loss and were bowled out with 41 balls of their innings still remaining. Bangladesh's Shakib Al Hassan taking 4 for 35 in that effort after striking 75 with the bat as well. Then on to football news. Paris Saint-Germain's striker Neymar is set to miss the rest of the season as he now needs surgery on an ankle injury, a persistent one at that. So the Brazilian forward he was carried off as an injured right angle became too much to bear in PSG's 4-3 home win over Lille on the 19th of February. PSG say that the 31-year-old has suffered several instances of instability in that right ankle over recent years, and surgery is now needed to avoid a major risk of reoccurrence. In this season, he's been on pretty good form. He scored 13 League One goals and contributed another 10 assists for PSG this season, so he's going to be missed. Then on to tennis. Well, he is definitely going to be missed. World number 1 Novak Djokovic has now withdrawn from this week's Indian Wells Masters event, with the Serb unable to enter the United States. And we know why. The 22-time Grand Slam winner, who's now 35 years old, had applied for special permission to enter the US because he is not vaccinated against COVID-19. Well, the US requires international visitors to be vaccinated, and proof will be required up until the 10th of April at least. Djokovic missed last year's US Open because of his vaccination status. It looks like nothing has changed. But we'll still watch that story closely. Likewise, keep an eye on the latest traffic and weather news to reports. And so let's get that now. Ewan is standing by.
Thank you so much, Graham. That's right, the traffic is starting to build on your Tuesday morning. In Gordons Bay, down in Cape Town, there is a road closure on the R44 Clarence Drive. Please make sure to use alternative routes. And then Belleville, Cape Town, there's been an accident on the N1 inbound after Durban Road. 2 lanes are closed and you can expect delays in the area as well. Please be safe out there. Sticking to Cape Town in the Western Cape, there's congestion on the N7 southbound at the N1 inbound ramp and you can expect delays. That's what we have for you in terms of your traffic. Please drive safe this morning. Right now, time for you with them. Starting off with some weather news, severe flooding occurred in several areas of the western and eastern provinces during the past couple of days. Residents of the Kumra and Kirkwood in the Eastern Cape are picking up the pieces after widespread heavy rain caused damage in large parts of the Amatola district and the Sundays River Valley municipalities. Some of the areas experienced localized flooding, hail and strong winds. Homes have been damaged and local businesses and places of worship in Kumra have also been hit hard. Meanwhile, cleanup works underway in the Sundays River Valley. Shops in Kirkwood were underwater and a vehicle was stuck on a bridge in the area. Then in the Western Cape, severe flooding was reported in the Montague region. Several homes were badly damaged in Avalon Springs. Rain damaged and flooding were also reported in Albertina, Riversdale, Heidelberg, still by the Swartberg Pass, Klaarstrom and Meyringspoort. If you're on these areas, please heed. Right now, time for your 7 a.m. update. And we have beautiful pictures this morning from Margaret. Good morning, Margaret from Tongaat showed off a phenomenal photo from her garden, from green plants to the blazing sun. It looks gorgeous. Thank you very much for sharing. Then Nikki, good morning from Alberton, showing off fields of green whilst out and about. Lajith in Seatide sent us bold red hues glowing up the sky this morning, and this is absolutely stunning. What a way to wake up. And last up, we have Emil Jones. Good morning from Buccleuch, snapped a glorious view of the sun's rays glimmering through the clouds. Magical, magical shot. Thank you very much for sharing. Love seeing your parts of South Africa. Please keep sharing those views with us on our WhatsApp line 063 40 8863. Your temperatures this morning, Polokwane starting off on 16 minimum, warming up to 26 degrees. Mbombela 18.27, Pretoria 16.28, Johannesburg starting off on 15 with a high of 27 and thunderstorms expected. Mahikeng 17 this morning and a maximum of 29, also high chance of thunderstorms. Klerksdorp on 16, rising to a maximum of 28 degrees. Kimberley 17.33, Bloemfontein starting off on 15 and a maximum of 29. Richards Bay 20.28. Pietermaritzburg starting off on 18 and a mild maximum of 24 degrees. Durban starting off on 22 this morning, warming up to 27 degrees. Mthatha 18.25. East London this morning on 22 and a mild maximum of 24. Cradock starting off on 16 with a maximum of 29. Gqeberha on 19 and a maximum of 23. George this morning 16.21. Cape Town 16, reaching a mild maximum of 25 degrees. Worcester 13.25. Sutherland on 9 this morning, nice and cool, staying cool with a maximum of only 19 degrees. Uppington 14 and a scorcher today for Uppington with a maximum of 37 degrees. That's a wrap for your weather. For the 7 o'clock bulletin, we'll be back just after 8.
Ewan, thank you so much. Of course, there's so much excitement happening on the show this morning. Firstly, Green Pop's in town and they're talking about reforestation. So obviously Nature Boy is so excited about that. But also, another beautiful soul has just arrived. Gabby, how are we doing this morning?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm so good. Just getting ready. You're about to do something special. I believe it's something along the lines of like, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Yes, we are.
I think you know what I'm talking about. Don't go anywhere, Mzansi. This beautiful soul's coming at you in just a bit. See you there.
Hey, what's that?
This is Octifex, a new accessible platform to trade Forex on global markets.
Cool. What's the Forex?
It's short for foreign exchange, trading currencies.
Buy low, sell high. Score points, right?
Exactly.
What's leverage?
It's like you got cool friends. They vouch for you, and you can trade it big.
Precisely.
So basically, it's an app where you learn and trade, and it's safe, and it looks good.
That about sums it up here. Octifex, trading made clear.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome back. It's your feel-good breakfast show, of course, doing something absolutely special this morning, celebrating health and also our planet's health too. Now, of course, it being Tuesday morning, it's Tuesday, and we're choosing to spend it with you and, of course, carry on with our focus on the planet. Now, from forests and grasslands to rivers and oceans, the health and diversity of Earth's ecosystem is at the basis of human prosperity and well-being. Now, this morning we are joined by Michiel Grobler and Jessie Levesensi, who are from Green Pop. Yes, you can see how excited I am. Now, it's a social enterprise on a mission to reconnect people with the planet, more specifically, to get people involved in forest restoration. And let me say good morning to the both of you. How are you doing this morning?
Doing really well. So happy to be here.
Yeah, man, this is huge. This is big. I was involved in this last year, but let's just get straight into it because not a lot of people actually know what's happening, what Green Pop is about. And I know you kind of started this whole thing with this goal of 1,000 trees in 1 month. That was kind of like this tense of what was going to happen. What happened in the beginning? How did that go? And where are you at now? Because things have changed. Things have been amazing, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Firstly, just thank you so much. Yeah. Green Pop started back in 2010 when our co-founders Misha and Lauren Teasdale and Jeremy Hewitt, who most people will know as Jeremy Loops, they came together with a group of friends over dinner, and they just kind of had this idea to plant 1,000 trees in 1 month. And that's exactly what they did. They in September of 2010, so part of Arbor Month, they planted 1,000 trees in undergreen communities in Cape Town, and kind of things really grew from there, and as they say, the rest is history. And we've now got 4 programs. So we've got our urban greening program where we plant locally indigenous fynbos in undergreen communities in Cape Town. We've got environmental awareness. We've also got a food security program, and then forest restoration, which is kind of the full circle one with the tree planting.
It's almost like something that I think everybody needs to get educated on. This is like such important information. Michiel, maybe I can speak to you about your focus being on restoration, right? And especially when it comes to our forests, the place that makes us breathe and allows the earth to breathe as well. What's happening with our forest in South Africa, and maybe I think you work in sub-Saharan Africa as well. What's the status of our forests like at the moment? What's happening there?
So look, forests in sub-Saharan Africa are really critical for not only the animals and the plants that live in there, but also for the people, right? 70% of sub-Saharan Africa depend on forests or woodlands for their livelihoods, right? Okay. A lot of countries within Africa also, large parts of their GDP comes from these forest products. And as we know, 25% of the remaining rainforests are actually located on the African continent. So this is such a critical space for us and such a critical ecosystem to maintain and to restore. According to the Food and Agricultural Organization, unfortunately, between 2010 and 2020, we've lost an estimated about 5.5 million hectares of forest. Wow. Now, you can imagine the impact not only on biodiversity, but on the people dependent on these spaces. And so, there's a lot of good movement into restoration movements growing. We're in the UN Decade of Ecosystem Restoration. And so there's a lot of work coming towards not only just protecting our forests, but restoring them where they've been degraded.
Yeah, well, look, that sounds promising, and that's something I maybe want to focus on right now because it does seem like we are moving forward, we're growing, there is some success out of this. I mean, taking it back from what you said, 2010 or 2011?
Yes.
From those 1,000 trees being planted to where we're at now at 2023, what's that impact being like since then? Like, where have we got into so far? You mentioned some great work in sub-Saharan Africa, but what's the status currently at, like, in terms of that impact?
So our impact, we try and, not only focus just on the ecological aspect of our impacts, which is at its core, the main focus, but it also is about the people. It's about the communities dependent on these ecosystems and also trying to find sustainable alternative livelihoods for them. So many of them are, as mentioned, dependent on these forest products for surviving, and so we can't expect to just tell them to stop. We have to offer alternatives, and we have to support them to take ownership of their forests and also, work towards protecting it and utilizing it. The impact so far, I mean, since 2010, we're now standing on just over 200,000 trees planted, and we're very proud of that. But, the impacts are more far-reaching than that. Ecologically, it takes a lot more time. But we've seen these positive impacts on biodiversity, on soil health, as well as the communities that we've been able to work with.
Oh, absolutely love it. And Mzansi, don't go anywhere. This conversation is going to continue right now. We're talking about restoring all the beauty of our earth. We're also going to be discussing how you, Mzansi, can get involved and do your bit to kind of beautify and restore the magic that we have in this country. For now, though, it's time to head back to the kitchen, fill up those bellies, and do something special. Ice cream!
I love it. Keep the singing coming, my friend. Yes, we will rejoin that conversation after we've refueled ourselves. And this one is for those who are suffering from lactose intolerance. Now, I think if you do fit that label, just the thought of a scrumptious bowl full of gelato has left you reaching for the pain meds or the antacid or whatever you reach for. But thanks to Nolac from Clover, you can enjoy dairy again with lactose-free milk and dairy snack. And Gabby is here to show us how to make ice cream. I could have just opened with that, just ice cream. That's what we're doing.
What are you doing? Ice cream.
So this is not an exact science. And what I love about this frontier of new ice cream minus the dairy is you can do it yourself and come up with your hack, and it's about improving and improving and improving. And looking at that end product there, we've got a pretty good iteration right here. That being said, it feels more like science than cooking right
ice cream
now.
It depends your type of ice cream, right? Because if you're doing a gelato or if you're doing an ice cream, it's two very separate things.
Please, can you give us the lowdown? Even the way you say gelato is like so authentic and awesome.
So pretty much, a lot of people think gelato needs to have egg yolks, but it's actually not about that. And a lot of people think gelato is actually higher in fat, but it's actually lower in fat than ice cream. And the biggest thing with ice cream is also about the air. So when you go get a soft serve and you're like, this is so cheap, I'm gonna, it's like only £5.
Mainly air.
Sorry to tell you, it's like 300% air. But when you go to like those proper gelaterias and everyone's like, oh, it's like 30 rand a scoop, it's because they have not put that much air in it.
There's
actually density of good ingredients. So that is why you're paying more, just FYI.
Mamma mia!
So,
hey, I feel like there was a reason why you came through today. I love it. That being said, those that have an issue with dairy, and it can really affect you, I understand that. So I know I make light of it, but I know it really can be an issue. We want to enjoy some ice cream again. Give us a hack. We've got two versions of our Nolac here that are going to be combined in quite a scientific way. So where does the process begin?
so you're going to start for me. So we obviously got our Clover Nolac on the stove.
And we have boiled this already.
We have boiled it, but just to show, we've got some sugar, and we've obviously got our Clover Nolac, which, do you want to just add a little bit more just for funsies?
I love it. Everyone's like, just throw in a cup. No, just add it. But we love it. The more, the merrier. And this, obviously, we're using the caster sugar because it does dissolve.
It does dissolve quicker. And basically, when we are done with that, we're going to pour half of that into our egg yolks. We're just using egg yolks today. We don't need to use the egg whites. Keep that for your scrambled egg later on.
What are you talking about? For your meringues? Okay, we're making dessert now, okay? Come with your egg white omelets at this time of the day. But it does beg the question in terms of people having to find substitutes or being able to enjoy just a normal breakfast or any normal meal when you do have a lactose intolerance. And it is hectic. I know symptoms can include as much as an upset stomach, bloating, even nausea after consuming dairy, and it can get worse the older you get. Well, the Clover Nolac lactose-free range of milk and dairy snacks enable you to enjoy dairy again, as we are proving right now, in so many versatile ways. I didn't want to do this part of the process because I always imagine scrambled eggs appearing, but so...
No, I mean, look, that's why you keep on whisking. If you just add it, it's going to start, I was like curdling, you're going to start scrambling your eggs.
And just, just kind of gradual, mix it through.
Very gradual.
Get that. And bearing in mind, yes, I know we probably are cutting a few corners for the sake of TV time. So... make sure your temperatures are set. Make sure that your sugar is dissolved.
So obviously, just for sake of TV, I'm now going to add this back. And you're going to keep on stirring, because then you want it to actually cook a bit more to make sure that your eggs are actually cooked through.
And that will then start to thicken and bind everything together. Okay.
So cook. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put this into our bowl.
That was the cheapest television dissolve graphic we've ever seen. Cook. And look, we are here. Well,
so now I'm going to put which you can also, by the way, then, if you want to, if you ever worried about I might have egg in my ice cream, then you just use a strainer.
Okay.
And then any little bits that might have cooked through.
For sure.
Are gone.
And we're not going to judge. You have to use a strainer.
Listen.
We don't have to tell anybody. Okay.
So now what I'm going to be doing now is adding some of our Clover Nolac, our dairy snack, just to add that extra bit of creaminess.
Okay, that mouthfeel, the luxury. I love that.
And I've also got a bit of olive oil just for some extra flavor profile. And we've also got some vanilla, a little bit of vanilla, and sea salt.
For sure.
Just for some flavoring.
I get that. I mean, the olive oil, it's a beauty. It's just from a health perspective. If you can have more olive oil in your diet, do it. From the anti-inflammatory properties, we know it's just, an absolute wonder food, but there's something about that, the herbaceousness, that flavor profile that will get you thinking differently.
Absolutely.
A salt will get you thinking differently about sweet. Just think about those flavor profiles from a different angle. I'm just dying to taste this. And bearing in mind, this is building up towards making an ice cream cake a little bit later, so we're going to really push the boat out. But I'm hoping that this little thing is...
And then obviously you put it in your freezer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put it in the freezer.
We haven't got a hack for that one yet, okay? And then we finished it off with some little caramel buttons there.
What do you think? It's like when you're being that quiet, I'm like, is it that nice, or is it like, I don't know what to say about
No,
this?
we have a rule. You've got to be honest. I wanted to try and track the olive oil flavor profile.
Yes.
This feels like a really grown-up ice cream.
Fancy, hey?
It's fancy, it's bougie, it's delicious, and it's completely lactose-free. I suggest you try this. In fact, give us some inspiration. If you've got some flavor profiles you want to test out, do it and prove it to us. We'd love to hear from you. This is delicious.
Clover No Lac, lactose-free milk that lets you enjoy dairy again. Made with love by Clover.
Sensodyne, repair, and protect with deep repair. The science is pretty amazing. It really goes deep and repairs tooth sensitivity. The science is there. It's going to improve their quality of life in a big way. This is the first thing I recommend.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, and welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Tuesday, otherwise known as Tuesday, and we choose to spend it with you. And that means not only focusing on health, but also the health of our planet. Now, we went from forests and grasslands to rivers and oceans. And of course, the health and diversity of Earth's ecosystems are the basis of human prosperity and well-being. Now, we've got two special souls right now, Michiel Grobler, as well as Jesse Levezensi, who is all the way from Green Pop, and they're here to chat about the reforestation project, as well as Reforest Fest, something exciting to talk about. Now, guys, earlier in this conversation, we were obviously chatting about forestation, where we are at when it comes to our forest. What, if I can draw some sort of highlight on the trajectory of where we would be if, let's say, forests continue to decrease? Like, what would actually happen if we continued with that trajectory? That's the word.
Yeah, so, you know, that there's a lot of degradation happening in our ecosystems across the planet, and those are about for various reasons. But at its core, the most important thing forests do for us is produce oxygen, capture that carbon, and carbon is a big conversation piece at this stage within the corporate space, but also in the ecological space. And Carbon is one of the biggest things, you know, reducing greenhouse gases and ultimately reducing the impact of climate change. So that's a service that we don't have the machines to properly replace those forests with, right? If we're speaking about the urban environment, it becomes much more critical. The spaces we find in the urban space are really limited in how much indigenous species we have there, because our exotic species are a little bit easier to thrive and they're more adapted to, you know, a harder life. But they actually serve as such an important role, not only in reducing urban temperatures, like we have in the summertime here in Cape Town. You know how hot the city can get, and those trees do such hard work to actually reduce those temperatures. They also offer such valuable habitat for so many species of insects, so many species of birds that travel all the way from Lion's Head and Table Mountain, all the way to the Boerland Mountains there at Stellenbosch. So they offer these pockets of safety. Every garden, every tree, every piece of green offers this additional kind of benefit towards our ecology. Unfortunately, if we keep losing forest, due to alien invasive species invasions or due to mismanagement of forests, we'll see, first of all, more carbon related into the atmosphere, which will, of course, exacerbate the impacts of climate change. We'll also see soil degradation. We'll also see impacts on our communities. We know how important greenery as well as some green spaces are for our mental health, for children and for people to be able to engage in that. And losses of our urban environment is literally at the core of our health as humans.
Yeah, man. Look, I can't see a bigger reason to get involved and change this. Before we talk about how we can get involved, there's also a great opportunity for us to celebrate and bring awareness to this occasion, right? And you guys are doing something incredible. Obviously, with Jeremy Loops, who was the founder of Green Pop, as well, one of the co-founders you mentioned earlier. But Reforest Fest 2023, is this building on from the magic that happened in previous festivals? What can we expect? What's happening? What is it all about? Jesse, maybe you can tell us more.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, so our Reforest Fest is our annual reforestation festival.
Okay.
So this year it's happening over the Easter weekend.
Nice.
So from the 7th to the 10th of April at Bodikaya Nature Retreat. It's this absolutely beautiful location located just outside of Gansbaai. And this year we are aiming to plant 5,000 trees in one day.
Oh, wow.
So people come through for the tree planting, but then of course because it's happening over Easter weekend, it's going to be all about family and bringing your loved ones along and really partying for the planet. So some of the things that people can look forward to. This year, for the first time, we've got a dedicated kid space. So you can bring your little ones along. We're going to have some really fun activities for them from arts and crafts. And there's dedicated facilitators and caretakers to look after your kids. And of course, who doesn't love good food? So we've got Honest Chocolate coming to do a wine and chocolate pairing. And then we've also got an Easter Sunday harvest feast, which will be prepared by a chef. So you get your picnic basket. You can go and enjoy the surrounds at Bodikaya and just really bask in the natural beauty. And then, of course, we've got some talks and workshops, and the party doesn't stop there. We've got live music, local DJs, so people can look forward to Jeremy Loops, who will be performing live.
Awesome.
And we're really looking forward to having him back at the festival.
A full-on festival, a reason to celebrate the beauty of our country. And of course, you, Mzansi, you need to get involved in this. So much magic. We're talking about Reforest Fest, so get your tickets right now. And for anybody else there that is wanting to get involved in this project, involved in anything with regards to Green Pop, where can they find you? Where do they get involved?
Awesome. So we are actually on all the socials, so you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn and Twitter and everything else. People can also go to our website, so greenpop.org, and then they can get all the information there. But there's various ways that people can get involved. From volunteering, you can bring your company along for planting day, and yeah, there's so many ways. So we're really keen. I mean, something we always say at Green Pop is that it's not about the number of trees, but the number of hands that are planted, the number of hands that get involved with the work. So we're really keen to get people involved. So greenpop.org.
Gil and Jesse, thank you so much. You, Mzansi, what more to do other than get involved?
Get involved indeed, but right now I can promise you we are gearing up for a spiritually enlightening performance this morning. Odwa Bongo is one of the very few prominent Uhadi players in the country. Now, The Wire, powered by Celebrity South Africa, acknowledged Odwa as one of SA's top LGBTIQ+ creatives alongside Rich Mnisi and Tebe Magugu. It's a pleasure to have him in studio with us this morning. Odwa, thank you very much for joining us so nice and early on a Tuesday.
Thank you.
How are you doing, my friend? Are you well?
I'm well, thanks. And how are you?
Yeah, I am super well. I'm excited. The Uhadi, this instrument, a unique instrument made famous by the late, great Dr. Madosini.
Yes.
where did you first fall in love? What's the history with you and this instrument?
Sure. So I went to the Rainbow Academy, which is right here in Cape Town, and I saw the instrument laying there. It was, I wouldn't say it wasn't well looked after, but it was broken. And then I was very inquisitive in finding out what it does. Why is it here, you know? And the principal of the school allowed me to obviously play it and play around with it. I mean, instantly it had this beautiful sound that I really resonated with, and ever since then, you know, I just took the instrument with me.
It became a love affair with this
yes.
instrument. I knew you where you were going. But more so than that, we mentioned the late great Dr. Madosini. You've had the opportunity not only to know her, but to be mentored by her. I mean, that must have been an incredible journey as well. How did your paths cross, and what did you take out from that experience?
With Umakulu, I knew her when I studied at UCT. Because I studied African music, so through that I got to be introduced to a whole variety of African music instruments. But obviously, because this is my first love, so I then, I mean, I loved her story. I mean, her coming from the Eastern Cape to Cape Town to play an instrument that is almost scarce in a way, if you put it that way. And she was such a lovely woman, you know. She was very willing to give out information to any student or anyone that wanted to know more about their culture. And ever since then...
and there you have it. And I'm glad you are willing to give us a little bit of something of yourself. So you're going to be performing. What are you going to perform right now?
The first song I'll do is called Uvo Telandoni.
Uvo Telandoni.
Yes.
Enjoy. Take it away. Odwa Bongo. Those vocals. So early in the morning. That is impressive. Oh, man, let us know on our social media pages, man, how you enjoyed Odwa Bongo this morning. He is not going to go anywhere. He's still here. Got 2 more performances left for you. Stick around.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Indeed, it is your Feel Good Breakfast Show on your Tuesday. Welcome to it, family, right here on S3. Now, content creators have grown to become an important element in our marketing industries as they have become a vessel for advertisement and mediums between the product and the customer. Now, thanks to the influence that content creators have, along with their hashtags and trends, social media is now the #1 mode of inspiration for travelers. Now, even more so, positive news headlines state that the Western Cape has managed to fill up 167,000 jobs, becoming the map for travelers. And joining us today is photographer and content creator Shante Peterson, who will be giving us insight on the importance of marketing, monetizing social media, and the role it plays in boosting tourism and jobs creation. Shante, good morning and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much for having me.
How are you doing, firstly?
I'm excited. I'm awake.
She travels for a living. She must be good.
Just another day. Of course, you are blessed to be doing some incredible things. But take me through your journey, your online journey, your presence, and exactly where everything started and what's been happening.
Wow. I'm going to try to put it in a nutshell real quick for you guys.
As you can, yeah.
I always loved photography, but travel was the passion.
Yeah.
And working in corporate, hated it. And I just started doing weddings on the weekends just to get a reason to travel. And at the end of the day, I got retrenched in COVID, which was such a blessing in disguise because I was forced to do this as my passion.
I love how you smile saying this. It means that you find your niche.
Yes. Well, I've always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I know that that is something that I've always wanted to do. And I just always posted about traveling. And then all of a sudden, things just started going viral.
Look, and you grabbed this opportunity and you ran with it. And look, undoubtedly, South Africa is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. I mean, I've seen beautiful places around, but South Africa is home. We have gems here.
Yeah.
What are some of the top destinations that you find, listen, I would send people there. I would want you to go and visit.
Where do you begin?
Oh, that's crazy. I'm busy hosting a honeymoon couple from the US at the moment.
Nice.
And I'm taking them to all the hotspots that I feel that everyone needs to see. And we started at Kruger and the Blyde River Canyon. And that is where I was standing. The first time I stood at that canyon, I was like, this country, people need to know so much more about it. So the top destinations, definitely Blyde River Canyon, Kruger, the Wild Coast. It's literally wild, but it's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. You can go anywhere in the world, you won't find something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 100%.
Where else in the world can you get a waterfall going into the ocean? I mean, that doesn't happen very often. Come on.
Yeah, it happens, but not like...
It happens, but ours is beautiful.
Yes, nothing compares, nothing compares.
You mentioned top destinations, and I think everybody's probably just jealous hearing about it, but it's one thing traveling, it's another thing, obviously, like you mentioned, wanting to share that, wanting to document that, and expose that to the rest of the people to try and incentivize them to maybe kind of travel. Why was it so important for you to pick up that camera, learn those skills when it comes to captivating what you are, and at the end of the day, why is it so important for your travel at the same time?
So first of all, I love capturing the memory for myself.
Yeah.
But I just feel like if I capture it with my vision and creativity, aesthetics, like you said, it's very important to share that with people, to humanize it. By putting someone in that picture, you humanize it, you make them feel like they can be there themselves. That's why you are in the picture. You're not in the picture because you're vain.
Yeah.
You're in the picture to show them this is what you can feel like standing there, you know, and to give perspective.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, people live vicariously through images and stories that people tell. Shantae, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to be back with you in just a little bit because we want to pick your brain on how to, I think, successfully go about monetizing your content. And I think for a lot of content creators out there, valuable information coming your way soon.
You scream, I scream, we all scream for Rice Krispie treats. No, it's not that. We all scream for toffee. No. What is it, man? We all scream for nuts. No, it's not. It's ice cream. What if we could combine them all? Yes, I've got the ultimate dessert that the kids are going to absolutely love, and I promise you, it is flop-proof. I say with hope and a little bit of trepidation because we're going to put it to the test. And it only has 5 ingredients.
Yes, it does.
And Gabby is here, my insurance policy, to make sure that this works out because everything she does turns to gold. I love it. This is exciting because it's something that I can kind of make with my kids.
Yes, you can.
And then we learn patience because we've got to wait for it to finish freezing and then we get to enjoy the fruits of our labor. That being said, there's no fruit in this.
There's no fruit in this. Anti-fruit.
It's not that. Whatever that thing is, this is not that. No, this is a lot of fun and it's super tasty and texturally, I think, it's the win.
It's got all the things.
It's got the stuff.
It's creamy, it's crunchy, it ticks all those MasterChef-y boxes.
And it starts with something that I think is ingrained in the South African kind of genome. It's Rice Krispie treats. Every parent has made them for fates. This could be the economic game changer for South Africa. How much you can make them for and resell them for. But they form the beautiful base of our crunchy 5-ingredient cake. So
I mean, you're going to be doing the very easy task for us of pouring in your caramel.
Let's try not to get caramel all over my work.
And your Rice Krispies. Literally, that's
it. I was waiting for you to talk it up a bit more.
If you want to be healthy, I guess you can buy the raw puffed rice, but let's just not be healthy right now. There's time for that.
That's what I'm using. That's what I'm using, I promise. And
so
this
you're literally throwing that in there.
And this, I suppose, you know, we used to make it with the marshmallow to bind it together. In this case, we are going to pop it into the fridge for like 15 minutes just to let that caramel harden, yeah?
Yes, exactly. That's what you want to do. So pretty much what you're doing, stir it together, put it into your lined baking tin, and then we're going to pop that into the fridge.
And we're not looking for exact geometry here. This really does almost benefit from being a bit more rustic and having those rougher edges. This you're going to literally break up into shards.
Yes.
And do a little bit extra because you're going to want to do a taste test as you go.
Absolutely. Well, the kids will. If there's anything left after you doing this with them. and then essentially what we have now got here, while you're busy spinning that out nicely, is we've obviously got our ready-made ice cream.
All right.
We've got over here. And you've got a lined cake tin. The reason why we have put a bit of cling film in it is just so that it's easier to take out.
So essentially it's like a mold, so you're going to take it out to present your cake.
And I mean, if you don't want to do that, I guess you can just eat it out with a spoon. But I mean, then you're not going to see the beauty of
the creation. And it's worth noting, this is a cake that's going to have a limited shelf life. So we take it out, we eat it. Don't make it too big unless you've got enough of an army there to eat it.
Yes.
So I think using this kind of size mold is ideal. So it's not going to go... none of it's going to get melted and go to waste.
And by the way, this is what your caramel Rice Krispies are going to look like.
Oh, by the way, this is the awesomeness that is going to be born out of the caramel. I love that. This is quite an exciting kind of kids party idea. You can make many of them in small little ramekins. You can let the kids kind of make them at the beginning of the party and then eat them at the end and have a little bit of fun. And as long as you've got a clean space to do it, I think you're okay, you know?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, what I've done here is that I've got our ice cream ready-made. I'm now stirring in our textural elements. And I've also just kept some of these as well, because what you can do is after stirring it in, just for fun, I mean, you can just, throw it into your bowl.
You could just eat it like that, to be quite
Just
honest.
like
It's
that.
looking pretty good.
I'm just going to do like a little, I mean, you don't have to do this. I'm just zhuzhing it up a little bit.
For sure.
But I've just put some in, and then I'm going to put some extra of our nuts in and our caramel Rice Krispies.
caramel crunch,
just so we have like almost a bit of a layer. Again, like you really don't need to do this. I'm just,
For sure, and just imagine, I would say, just think about the integrity of the structure if you're going to be adding layers and things like that.
Exactly.
And again, just always bear in mind that this is going to be kind of a one-time only opportunity for people to see and enjoy and eat. It's not going to hang around for very long.
No, it's not. It's not. These things don't hang around ever. So yeah, I'm literally just smoothing this in here, and then I'm going to top it off with our final bit of our crunchy toppings. And then, like, you're done. And then you're going to pop this in the freezer for about 6 to 8 hours, preferably, if you can wait that long.
How long do you reckon this will last in the freezer? Like, what is the lifespan of a cake like this?
You can keep in the freezer for about a month. The only reason I know this is because we did a shoot recently where...
You forgot completely about the cake.
No, so we had to make 2, obviously, because in case one melted, it was a
for
disaster.
sure.
And so the second one stayed in my freezer actually for about 3 months. And it actually lasted quite fine, so...
Did you eat it, though?
I didn't, to be honest.
No, I'm joking.
But everyone else came to my house.
Okay, well, in that vein, I'm not going to taste this. I'm going to invite someone else in to taste this cake for me. Ryle, get in here, man.
It's Tuesday, guys.
Let's see if we can steal a second off that 100-meter time here, my
There's
friend.
one thing that I need to complain about, and I think you made a big mistake here. Actually.
Oh, God.
I want to do this on TV.
Oh,
You
God.
didn't
Criticizing me
make
live. That's rude.
enough.
But if you made
do we cut it up? Do we use a spoon? I'm going to bring all the utensils I can for this.
I feel like we need to throw it up, drop it, let it smash into shards, and then go, no.
Check this thing out.
Buddy, this is the very first time I've actually made an ice cream cake. Yeah, give us a cross-section there, do whatever.
Yes.
Do whatever. Nice. Oh, but now, please, dude.
Yeah.
So the half is for you
Please,
and half is for you.
when eating ice cream, okay, this has got nuts in it. Okay, this has
Remember what
nuts in it.
happened
Oh, no,
last
I know. The whole world knows what happened last time.
What happened last time? Did I miss something?
He broke his tooth on a nut eating gelato in Italy, and then had to have he had to have root canal the day before World Champs.
And you're not even local. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say to that.
But let me, firstly,
my
wow, I just
That's a
licked my
very
fingers
big
and there was so much flavor. Let me just
And
try
now
this.
5 dentists have gone, my favorite dessert.
All right.
He's definitely the favorite client.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to get my hand in there and pull it out if you have an issue. I'm there for you.
I need to like take down notes. There's so much going on here. There's a sweetness, there's a crunch, there's a sticky, juicy goo. There's like there's definitely ice cream in here as well. But
Like his little love antennas just going up.
it's like elevating. That is incredible. Well done.
That's all you need to serve for date now. You don't actually need anything else.
All right. Well,
Just that.
guys, thank you so much. I made it out of here. That was a well-played session.
Easy peasy.
Wow.
There it was. Flop-free, 5 ingredients, a beautiful, crunchy, delicious, show-stopping cake that has disappeared. That's how good it is. And of course, you can head over to expressoshow.com to go and recreate it for yourself. I just want to see photos of the children with it on their face afterwards. That's it. Gabs?
Thank you.
Beautiful. Out the park. I've got none to take.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yeah, so Zanzi, welcome back. We're celebrating all the magic of our country, our health, and of course, this beautiful planet that we live on. Now, we're talking about something special this morning, and it was established in 1898, the world-renowned Kruger National Park. Now, it offers a wildlife experience that ranks as the best in Africa. Now, the park is home to the iconic Big Five with lots of adventures, including a game reserve and all the magnificent views, making it the absolute go-to destination.
Go-to destination indeed. Now, this year, for the second year in a row, the Kruger National Park has been announced as the winner for the 2023 Travelers' Choice Awards, a huge accolade. Now, just last year, it was awarded for being the best outdoor destination. And joining us further to discuss the best gems and adventures to undertake while visiting this destination is photographer and content creator Shante Peterson. Shante, lovely having you back on the couch. Just before we launch into the Kruger National Park, we spoke about monetization of content. Content creators out there, I mean, this is a key, skill to have. How do you go about that? How do you curate the perfect content and monetize your content, connecting with brands?
Yeah, that's very true. Okay. So first of all, it depends on your niche. For me, it's travel. So obviously the brands that reach out to me or I reach out to would definitely be in the travel industry or outdoor industry or anything related to travel.
What do you do? Just send them a message?
I would send them a DM. I'll ask for their PR marketing, or they will reach out to me.
Okay.
90% of the time they reach out to us. I don't know how that happens, but it happens.
Brands doing
because
well.
Your content is just so good.
Yes. And in terms of monetization, I mean, it's also about they want exclusivity. They don't want you to work with another outdoor brand, so that you charge for that. So they don't just pay you to post for them. They have to give you the gear. They pay for just the reels and the posts, and then they'll even buy the photos from you to use for marketing purposes.
Look, I think we've got to understand that social media is the #1 kind of marketing avenue that we can take. Okay, let's get to the Kruger National Park, one of the biggest attractions in South Africa. It is fantastic, top rated. We were just speaking about it off air. What are some of your favorite spots, go-to places that you could recommend?
Okay, so first of all, going to the Kruger, you can drive like all day. You can, pack a little broodjie in your cooler bag and like some cool drinks and just drive the whole day, and you never know what you're going to find. But I'll say spots, there's tented camps there where you can literally hear the animals at night. I'll definitely say tented camps in and around, there's hides that you can go to. So there's no specific spots, there's just a lot of them. But I'll just always recommend the chalets, the tented camps. You can even take your own tent and just go and...
Good, camping is a big thing.
Out. That's
you can if you want to.
I think it sounds like there's a little bit of everything for everybody when they go to the Kruger, when they come to South Africa, especially. I've just seen now that it's just been announced, the Kruger especially been announced as the 2023 Travelers' Choice Awards. This is the second year in a row. So obviously this is adding value to this area. Why do you think that's obviously important for, let's say, our tourism sector? I know we've come through a difficult period with the lockdown. Everybody's itching to get back in the game, get a piece of the pie. Why do you think it's so important right now?
The most important thing about when there's an award like put to something, you know, it means a lot for tourists, especially outside of South Africa, because it feels safe. It feels like it puts that safety mark on it, and it makes it feel like it's somewhere they can actually go.
It's official.
Yes. It makes them, because a lot of people, the people that I'm hosting at the moment from the US, they didn't want to come here without me. They need people around them.
Where are we going to go? It makes it easy.
And is it safe? They don't know. But putting that award on it, international, makes them feel that it's safe and exciting, and that it's really something to look forward to.
That makes sense.
Exactly. It makes a lot of sense. Now, you know what? We always look at content creators like yourselves, people watching your content, think, man, they are living the life. And I know that you are, but I think you're also fulfilling such an important role within tourism in South Africa. How do you see it? How do you feel about the role that you play in not only boosting tourism, but also redirecting tourists to good places, to valuable places that they should be seeing?
Well, first of all, I feel like there's a lot of places that's underrated in South Africa that people don't even know about. So I feel that that's where my role comes in. I go for the unique spots. I try to find them.
Off the beaten track.
Yes, I mean, there's literally been places that I've been that I couldn't realize, wow, this is in South Africa. And then people comment and they're like, no, this is not in South Africa, So I think my role is to attract people and show them that we don't just have Cape Town and the Kruger. We have a lot more than that, And Yeah, I think that's the most important part.
Well, thank you for doing the hard work and finding those places for us so we can just go.
Exactly.
Shanta, you've been a breath of fresh air. You've, I think, incited everybody to either take up a new career or at least travel.
Yeah.
Of course, you're wanting some inspiration, you can find her at Tay-Tay's Travels. I absolutely love that. You can get online for more tips on how you can maybe monetize your own niche or just get incentive to travel and explore some of the beautiful places in country. And of course, Shanta will probably advise you, maybe even take you there if you're that lucky. Of course, we're celebrating travel, celebrating so much of the show right now, but official duties must commence, and she's standing by.
Thank you so much, team. Yes, hard work indeed. Now, we really appreciate the effort. It is about 2 minutes to the top of the hour, so let's get back into those news headlines just a little bit earlier. We start here in South Africa with a very stark statement to make. The Department of Justice and Constitutional Development says it deals with over 50,000 cases of gender-based violence and femicide in the country every year. 988 women were killed between April of 2020 and September of last year alone. The department now has announced an awareness campaign at Potchefstroom in the northwest, and a 5-kilometer walk from the Ikageng Magistrates Court to the Madiba Banquet Hall in Potch was undertaken to raise some awareness around the subject. Now, the department urged members of the community being abused to report cases to the police as a starting point. Then the Special Investigating Unit, or the SIU, has recovered 18 million rand linked to its road accident fund investigations. So the SIU has now signed acknowledgements of debt with law firms and attorneys to the value of some 68 million rand, which constitute unlawful acts of appropriation. The firms received duplicate payments from the road accident fund as compensation to persons injured in motor vehicle accidents. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa authorized the SIU to investigate serious allegations of corruption and maladministration in the affairs of the RAF. So good to see some outcomes from that investigation. And we cast a wider gaze and turn to the US, where US ambassador to Nigeria has said that the 25th of February's elections, we quote, failed to meet Nigerian expectations. Mary Leonard urged the Electoral Commission to address the hitches it experienced before the governorship polls on Saturday. Now, Ambassador Leonard said she is reiterating her call on the Independent National Electoral Commission to promptly address the challenges that can be resolved ahead of Saturday's governorship national elections. She urged that the commission be more transparent as it made reforms on the election systems itself. Then Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has called the wave of suspected poisonings of schoolgirls in recent months an unforgivable crime. He warned if there are any people involved in the matter, and there certainly are, the perpetrators must be given the most severe of punishments. More than 1,000 girls at dozens of schools have been affected by unexplained illnesses since November. Incidents were reported in at least 15 cities and towns on Sunday alone. Some Iranians believe the girls' schools are being targeted by hardline elements to prevent them receiving an education. And rounding it off now, of late, several parts of South Africa have been plagued by flooding, with KwaZulu-Natal probably being hit the hardest, as we've seen in our daily news reports. Flood victims there say that they are deeply grateful for the constant support that they receive from non-government organizations. And this, as the Red Cross Society has now presented cash voucher donations to the value of some 3 million rand to more than 1,000 Durban flood victims. The homes of Katiwe, Umbonambi and Truth Como from Waterloo in Durban were destroyed by floods in April last year. And they say the vouchers they received will assist their families greatly. And Umbonambi said, and we quote, "Red Cross has supported us from the beginning. They really are grateful to them." Now, Como added, Red Cross brought us nappies for our kids and other things. Yesterday was truly a surprise when they gave us 2,250 rand in vouchers. The training coordinator at the Red Cross Society, Siyabonga Hlatswayo, said that they would continue supporting flood victims until they become self-reliant. But on that note is where we round off our news headlines. For now, let's touch on the sport.
Thank you, Graham. Last look at your sports for your Tuesday morning. Starting off with cricket, Aiden Makram has been named as the Proteas' new T20 captain as Cricket South Africa confirmed the squads for the upcoming T20 and ODI series against the West Indies. The 28-year-old batsman takes over from Themba Bavuma, who stepped down as South Africa's T20 captain last month. Bavuma, who remains the ODI captain, also didn't crack a nod in the T20 squad as playing member. Other notable appointments included the confirmation of JP Duminy as full-time white ball batting coach and Rory Kleinfeldt as interim white ball bowling coach. Staying with cricket now, England were bowled out for 196 as Bangladesh avoided a one-day international series clean sweep with a 50-run win in Chittagong. Having already taken an unassailable 2-0 series lead, England restricted Bangladesh to 246 all out. But the visitors lost 3 wickets in 8 balls from 54-0 and were bowled out with 41 balls of their innings still remaining. Bangladesh's Shahib Al-Hassan took 4 for 35 after striking 75 with the bat. Moving over to soccer now, Paris Saint-Germain striker Neymar is set to miss the rest of the season as he needs surgery surgery due to an ankle injury. Now, the Brazil forward was carried off with an injured right ankle during PSG's 4-3 home win over Lille on 19th of February. PSG say that the 31-year-old has suffered several instances of instability in his right ankle over recent years, and surgery is needed to avoid a major risk of recurrence. He scored 13 League One goals and contributed another 10 assists for PSG this season. Then moving over to tennis news, world number 1 Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from this week's Indian Wells Masters event, with the Serb unable to enter the United States. The 22-time Grand Slam winner, 35, had applied for special permission to enter the US because he is not vaccinated against COVID-19. The US requires international visitors to be vaccinated, and proof will be required until at least the 10th of April. Djokovic missed last year's US Open because of this vaccination status as well. And on that note, we leave your sport for now. Time to take a quick last look at your traffic.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ewan. It's time to take a look at the traffic and what's happening on the roads. And firstly, out in Port Shepstone in KZN. Now, if you're in the area, there has been an accident with a truck east of Izingolweni. Now, the road is blocked, so you can expect heavy delays on your route. Now, again, for those who are out in the Cape Town area and Bellville, to be specific, there's been an accident on the N1 inbound off the Durban Road. Now, the right lane is closed, so again, please do expect delays and plan accordingly. And for anybody heading out on the roads, plan accordingly, stay safe, and do buckle up too. For now, though, it's time to head from the road to the sky and see what's happening the latest when it comes to weather. On weather news right now, the Mozambican weather authorities say moderate cyclone Freddy is returning to the Mozambique Channel, and projections are that the Zambezia and Sofala regions may be hit. Now, Freddy is a very long-lived, intense tropical cyclone, now re-strengthening over the Mozambique Channel. Now, last month, the powerful cyclone affected the Mascarena Islands, Madagascar, and Mozambique. Now, it is one of only 4 systems on record to traverse the entirety of the southern Indian Ocean from east to west. Now, meteorologists say Freddy is currently moving at a speed of some 13 kilometers per hour towards the southwest coast of Madagascar. Now, Mozambique's National Institute of Meteorology has predicted continued heavy rains with more than 200 millimeters coming in 24 hours over the ocean, and winds of up to 110 kilometers per hour, accompanied by gusts of up to 150 kilometers per hour. Now, this could result in waves of up to 3 meters high. Now, the Institute has also warned people to take precautionary and safety measures. Well, on the topic of floods, we had these videos sent to us by JP all the way out in Robertson. Very, very intense stuff indeed. As you can see, it looks like this river is crazily rushing through. It looks like it's a force. It's more like a flood, if anything else, and something for all of us to be aware of right now, especially when you look at the impact that this can cause. I think for everybody out there right now, wow, look at this. In the houses, seeping out the doorway too. Really, really intense stuff indeed. I'm glad he's got his gumboots on him. And I really, really pray that anyone in the area is staying safe, is out of harm, and can at least get to a drier area for the day. JP, thank you again for sending this incredible video in, giving us a a first-hand account of what exactly they are going through in their area. And for you, Mzansi, a reminder to please send in your videos of anything weather-related, because we'd love to touch on it and discuss anything that is happening around our country. For now, though, it's time to take a look at those incredible sunrise images sent in from you, Mzansi. Now, for our last update this morning, we have Anissa Dawood, all the way from Mshlanga. Now, she shared a perfect view from her apartment, and look at that. Pink and red tones brightening up the sky like no other. Wow, is that even real? Come on. Next up, we've got Nancy Govender, who showcased the little flowers on the pathway as she walks down onto the beach to enjoy her morning stroll. And what a beautiful morning it looks like. Well played, well played. Next up, we've got Prakesh, who shared another breathtaking view. Wow, look at this. Starting off with a flawless image filled with pink tones to a fun video watching the waves roll up. Now, this is a perfect start to a Tuesday. Look at that. No edit whatsoever. It is boosting with magic, and this is what it's about. Mzansi, thank you for sending in these incredible, incredible sunrise views, pictures, videos. You have absolutely nailed it. And please, keep the bar coming. You can use the number 063-408-8863 because we'd love to continue to have a vantage point of magic like this right here. Wow. Absolutely blown away. Thank you so, so much. For now, though, it's time to take our final look at the temperatures across the country. And starting off in Polokwane, the day starting at a low of 16 up to a high of 26 degrees. Umbombela sees the day starting at 18 up to 27. Pretoria, 16 is your low up to a high of 28. And Johannesburg, 15 is your low up to a high of 27 with a lot of rainfall expected on your side of the world. And moving over to Mahikeng, the rain continues. 17 is your low up to a high of 29 degrees. Klerksdorp continues with the rain, 16 up to 28 degrees. Kimberley, 17 up to 33 with rainfall and some expected thunder too. And Bloemfontein, much the same. The rain continues, 15 up to a high of 29 degrees. Those are your temps. Around the coast now, moving over to Richards Bay, the rain continues, 20 all the way up to a high of 28 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, thunder and rain continuing to 18 up to 24 degrees. Durban sees rainy conditions from 22 up to 27. And Mthatha, not as much rain, but still rainfall indeed, 18 up to a high of 25 degrees. Let's carry on around the coastline now and all the way to East London. 22 is your low up to a high of 24 degrees. Cradock sees the day starting at 16 up to 29 with some rain. GQ Oberga sees the day starting at 19 up to 23. And of course, George, 16 up to 21. Lots of rainfall. Let's pray it lands in those catchment areas, please. Over to the mother city now, though. 16 being your low up to a high of 25. Worcester sees the day starting at 13 up to 25 with thunder and rainfall coming through. Much the same for Sutherland, 9 all the way up to 19. And believe it or not, Uppington, even though it is raining, still bringing the heat all the way from 14 up to a cracking 37 degrees Celsius. Again, Mzansi, thank you so much for sending those absolutely incredible pictures in. You've definitely incentivized us to enjoy the magic of the day.
To come, my friend, and this one I know is going to excite you. Nature Boy, as we go behind the curtain, behind the scenes on your Feel Good Breakfast show right now. Why am I so excited? The boards are back in town. As Shadi and Lush try and find a way to display these works of art and original. The Wavescape Surf and Ocean Festival kicks off today in the Mother City. Yes, so many opportunities to celebrate our beautiful blue planet. But of course, you can get your hands on a one-of-a-kind work of art. They're exquisite, and we're going to make sure we don't damage them in the meantime. Stick around after the break. We find out what the opportunity is. Beautiful.
It's The Crush. Unlock your 100% TV show. Catch all the excitement as we unlock Crush fans' full potential to live their dreams. Watch the show on SABC2 starting on the 1st of February every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Plus, you stand a chance to win your share of thousands of prizes. Simply buy any Crush and follow the pack for entry details. Crush. 100% goodness.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What a show it's been already, celebrating so much magic in our country, and we're going to continue doing that right now. We're talking about another beautiful event. The Wavescape Surf and Ocean Festival 2023 kicks off today in the mother city. You can see I'm so excited about it. Why? Because it's promising no fewer than 14 exciting events, including open-air film screenings with the Galileo Open Air Cinema, beach cleanups, filmmaking workshops, an evening of ocean talks, and the annual Wavescape Artboard project, something that we're going to discuss right now. Now, it's comprising an exhibition of artistic surfboards auctioned for ocean charities. And of course, the one and only Shani is in the building once again. How are you doing?
Good, thanks, and you?
I'm so good. It's so good to see you. Last year, we were celebrating epic stuff right on the beach as well. Yeah, this year we're doing something very similar. Of course, for people that don't know what's going on, this is an occasion that brings people that love the ocean, that are advocates of the ocean, brings them all together in a unique way. So who exactly are we bringing together this year? Who can we kind of expect to see? What are the kind of people that are going to be there?
So it's an array of people. Obviously, we've got our amazing artists who have done these epic boards.
Yeah.
So there's 10 artists, along with slide night speakers. So slide night is an evening of short talks by people who are intimately connected to the ocean. And then we've got all of our films, and we've got some film directors coming and people who are in the films. So it really brings such an amazing group of people together every year, from scientists to artists to like everyone.
Yeah,
basically.
and it's such a, like, you can feel the energy in the atmosphere when you're around this event, around these people. It's like people that are doing things for the right reasons, that are passionate, that love the ocean. It doesn't get better than this. I know last year was incredible. You mentioned so many events and so many things that you could expect from the festival. What's kind of new in 2023? Are there any like sort of extra additions that you've added to this ones?
Yeah, we've got 3 new additions this year.
Okay.
The first one's actually taking place on Thursday. It's a surf and ocean quiz night at the Jack Black Tap Room in Deep River. So for those of you out there who want to test your knowledge, please come
Zanzi,
along.
get involved. Come on, it's going to be an epic night.
Yeah. And then we always do a beach cleanup with the beach co-op. Last year we went under the water at Jaggers Walk in Fishhook.
Okay.
This year we're going to do that again because it was a great success, but also we're going to have a conversation in the ocean. So when we finish cleaning, we're going to all just sit in a circle and maybe just converse about what the ocean means to us and what our connection is to it. And then the third thing is we're actually going to the Bertha Cinema House in Kailicha, where 30 youth are going to come and watch 3 surfing and ocean films.
Okay.
And then afterwards, there's going to be an actual excursion to the ocean with the 9 Miles organization.
Oh, they are doing
so
awesome
it's like a
things.
real
Yeah.
connect, you know, like watch and then go.
A full-on experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And this is something that I think this festival is all about. It's experiencing the beauty of the ocean, like you mentioned, and the people around it, and everything that is involved. And you'd be blown away to see how much actually goes into this. It's incredible to see also how much you guys have put into this as an organization, and you've grown so much to the point where I see you now a fully fledged ocean media organization. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Firstly, well done on that. But talk to me about the evolution of this process. Why was there a need for it? Why did you guys do this in the first place?
I think like 2 decades ago when it started, it kind of just started as like surf film festival.
Yes.
And it ran over like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And it just like, you know, the whole demise of the ocean basically has, like, it needs people to advocate for it. And I think just through that, we've just like grown so much, and now it's like a surf and ocean festival. And not only that, but we're actually just about to launch our brand new website that is going to really be able to be a platform for spreading the messages that we want to spread out there, etc.
I love that. And of course, Mzansi, that website is on your screens right now. It's wavescapefestival.com. It's every reason that you need to get involved in this. We're talking about so many activities, and also you mentioned those films. What other films can you expect this year? I mean, obviously you mentioned the surf films. We've got that. We've locked that down. There's so many other, like, sort of, I would imagine, like, not just the experience itself, but engaging in the sort of narrative of the content that's coming through is really something that can evoke a sort of like custodian in you, right? Like an ambassador for the ocean. Is that kind of the goal here?
Yeah, I think, like, you know, just showing what the magic of the ocean is, and if we learn to kind of love it, if we love it, we will protect it. So the films range from like very high sporty films like Monster, I forgot the name of it, but something Monsters, which is really about like the danger of big wave surfing.
Yes.
And then tonight at the Galileo, we're doing The Birth of the Endless Summer, which is about the history of South African surfing, coupled with Caleb Swanepoel, who's been on your show with me before. And he's got...
an absolute legend.
Totally, and he's got a short film out called And Yet I Remain, which is also going to be screening tonight. And then on the last night of the festival, we've got another film called Stoked, Humanity Stoked, and that we've got the director coming out from the States to do a Q&A, and that's actually about skateboarding and...
When the waves aren't cooking.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Shadi, thank you so much. We are going to continue this conversation. We are going to be diving into more of the magic behind these surfboards that you see right here in the studio. They are works of art, and they are doing something more than just showing off art. They're doing something for the ocean too. So don't go anywhere. This conversation will continue.
Beautiful.
I love the Wavescape.
I know we've got a lot of
festival,
surfers on set and they're struggling to focus right now. And we are here for that. More from Shani in just a moment. Right now, though, it's that time of the morning where you get up off your butt on the couch and you get onto a chair.
Hey, absolutely, because, I mean, let's be honest, chairs have gotten a bad rap lately. Too much sitting, not enough moving. But chair workouts work for so many people. I mean, if you are recovering from an injury or surgery, you need extra support during pregnancy, or have balance challenges, a chair is your ticket to an awesome sweat.
Maybe you're just like old and tired like me
Maybe.
and just sit down. And a chair is amazing. Oh, Ryan Ryle is about to show us exactly how you could use this humble household item for much more than just sitting. Take a look.
I'll take a seat.
Oh yes, welcome back, you beautiful people. Do we have an absolute gem for you today? We're working the upper body, we're moving outside, no equipment needed whatsoever, except something that you all have at home. It's a chair. You can even use a bunkie or anything that can support your weight and is raised above the ground. Today we're working a full upper body session, 5 exercises in total, 30 seconds on and then 30 seconds rest, and that'll complete 1 set. And if you're really feeling up to it, you can go for 3 sets in total. Right now though, we're gonna show you the entire workout. Carlton's gonna be doing all these standard exercises. If you're struggling with any of the movements, you can watch me, because I'll show you a graded version that you can use to start off with, and hopefully use this as your incentive to get you all the way to the top. All right, straight into our first exercise. It's a push-up with a front raise. So essentially, we're going into that push-up position. I go from a push-up, maintaining good stability, raise that arm in the air, and straight back down for a restart. Again, if this is a bit of a struggle for you, you can do the exact same movement, but plant your knees on the ground, and again, into a push-up, and then straight into the front raise. You'll feel good stimulation in the shoulders, on the scapula, as well as your chest. Let us begin with our workout in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I'm on the knees with a push-up. Carlton's doing the standard version. Raise the arm in the air, and then straight back to that restart. Keep going for 30 seconds in total, maintaining a good neutral spine, engaging that core, and stacking those hands just above the shoulders. Make sure you aren't flaring your arms out, but getting those elbows to go back behind the body. Keep moving, people. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful stuff. That's exercise number 1 done. You got 30 seconds. Take a breath, relax, and enjoy this. What you want to do now, though, is grab the chair, and we're going to start focusing on the rest of the upper body. So we're working the pec once again, as well as the tricep and a little bit of the shoulders. So grabbing your chair, you want to rest both of your hands on the corners of the chair. You want to get your glute off the chair and have your feet firmly planted on the ground with a 90-degree bend. And then simply raising yourself up off the chair and lowering once again. All right, 5 seconds. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Let's move nice and low, and then squeezing at the top, working that shoehorn and working that tricep. Keep moving, quality over quantity. You want to go for 30 seconds in total, making sure that you're using your arms and not your legs to support you, to raise you off the ground, and especially to work those triceps too. Hang in there, guys. 30 seconds in total. Whew, feel the burn. We've got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoo, that's time. All right, 30 seconds break once again. You've earned that one. We're moving over to exercise number 3's explanation right now. You're gonna bring your chair to the front and you're gonna rest your hands in a diamond position right now. If this is a little bit too hard for you, you can do the exact same thing off the wall and angle yourself. But essentially, I'm resting my hands in a diamond position off the chair. My body is essentially at about 45 degrees and going down for a push-up and then straight back into that restart. In 5 seconds, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go down, hold that, good control, and straight back up. You'll feel a good stimulation of the shoulders, triceps are working, as well as those pecs once again, making sure that the force of your hands are almost pushing in a direction that they're going towards each other. Big squeeze, hang in there for 30 seconds, quality over quantity. Whew. All right, guys. 5 more seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booyah! That is how you do it. Already 3 exercises in the bag. You got yourselves a 30-second break. What we're going to be doing now is something really, really special and really, really fun. It's a pike push-up. So Carlton's going to be doing the advanced version. I'm going to be doing a version off the knee. Essentially, whether you're off the knee or off the chair, you want to make sure that you don't flare your elbows to the side. So once again, getting a 3-start position, hands underneath the shoulders, your head creates a triangle, and you're going back to that restart. All right, in 5 seconds, let's go. 3, 2, 1. All right, watch me in the graded position. Head goes down, straight back to restart. Carlton, as you can see, great form off the chair. He's getting his head to go into that diamond position for the triangle, and then straight back to his restart. 30 seconds in total. Hang in there, stay nice and strong. Beautiful form, Carlton. Beautiful stuff, people. Stick with us. Whew. Almost there. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's time. Woohoo! Beautiful stuff. 4 exercises done and dusted. We got 1 more left, and this one is so much fun. So it's a high plank. Carlton's going to be doing the elite version once again off the chair. I'm going straight off the ground into that high plank position. If you want to, you can incorporate a weight here as well. But from this position, holding the high plank, doing a high pull and rotating and alternating on the other side. All right, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good form, try not to sway those hips too much, and make sure that you're getting a good squeeze of the scapula, getting that upper back to really bring that shoulder and bring that elbow nice and high, driving as if you're almost kick-starting or starting a lawnmower. And if you want to, you can increase the intensity by putting a weight in your hand for this one, and that's really going to work the upper back even more. Maintain a neutral spine, keep your core engaged, and hang in there, people. This is the last one. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woohoo! It is done and dusted. That's how you do it. 5 exercises in the bag. That was so simple, but that's how you get the pump. I hope you absolutely enjoyed that one. Once again, how simple was that? No equipment whatsoever. Household items can be used as your gym equipment hack of the day, and we're encouraging you to move wherever you are. Outside, inside, use the body you were blessed with, and we'll see you for the next one. Woo!
First of all, the smile of relief, but how does the pump go? But the crazy thing is, he shot about 5 of those back to back, and you can see that was one of the last ones because the pump is real, bro. It's like, were you able to drive home?
Came straight from Swellendam after that one. You got full swellage. But of course, sometimes you can get a too if you enjoy all those exercises. You can get pumped, you can get a proper workout, of course, and you don't need any equipment.
Just need a chair, man. Yes. And some watermelons, by the way. Just a couple of watermelons.
Who's coming to Swellendam with me? Let's go.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, your feel-good breakfast show, carrying on all the magic, carrying on celebrating all the beauty of our planet, and we're heading into the ocean now. The Wavescape Surf and Ocean Festival 2023 kicks off today in the Mother City. You saw how excited I was earlier, and I'm even more excited now. It's promising no fewer than 14 exciting events, including open-air film screenings with the Galileo Open Air Cinema, beach cleanups, filmmaking workshops, an evening of ocean talks, and the annual Wavescape Artboard Project. Yes, indeed, we've got one of the artists here right now. Before we chat to her, though, Shani, I just wanted to chat to you more about like what we can expect from this year when it comes to the message. I remember every year you kind of have this overarching message about like the ocean or like a narrative. Do you have one this year?
Yeah, I think like the kind of thing we're trying to pull in is actually fun. So for so many years, especially with COVID, it was just so negative and dark and deep and like plastics in the ocean and all these things, which is like super important to like communicate that and educate people. But I think it's also just like returning to fun again and just having a good time in the ocean, because that's why we do it, right?
Yeah, it's our playground. We need to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think we're all blessed to have that opportunity. Now, let's talk about this incredible project, which I think Mzansi is dying to know about if they don't already. We've got incredible boards here. It's called the Wavescape Artboard Project. What exactly is it about? What's going on here?
So every year we give 10 surfboards to artists that we curate, and here's one of the artists. So we've got 3 boards with us today. We've got Fatawane and McKelly's board, MLK artists here, and Amy Ayanda. And the idea is that we're going to have an auction with Nick Rabinovitz as the comedian auctioneer, and on the 22nd of March. And the proceeds raised are going to go towards 5 different organizations that we support.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Well, now that we have the artiste here, let me chat to her. And of course, Mzansi, this is a crazy moment for me because I went to school with Marie-Louise Quinn. I've seen her overseas doing incredible work. And now you've come back home to give us some of your talent. Why did you get involved in this project? What incentivized you to get some of your magic onto a surfboard?
I think a lot of it to do really with the cause of what Wavescape is doing and the whole festival does, and advocating, you know, saving the oceans and protecting our seas. It's close to home for me.
Yeah.
As you know, like
former lifeguards.
Former
Yeah, I got you.
and yeah, always been really involved in the beach ocean stuff, so it's really cool to be able to then obviously create with that, and it is actually direct inspiration to my normal work that I do. I do a lot of seaside Cape Town scenes.
Okay.
So this was a very obvious sort of thing to
like an
dabble with.
easy passion to kind of extend towards the surfboard. Now, I want to go through the process here because, I mean, I know how dear and how true the ocean is to you. I know how many incredible memories you've shared in the ocean. What's happening with this piece? Take me through the like kind of process. You presented with this beautiful single fin minimal canvas and you get told you can do whatever you want. How do you decide on this? What was the process?
It actually took a while because you kind of don't really know what's going to translate really well. I think, like I said earlier, the work which I've been doing in my latest collection, which I just did, is Dawn to Dusk, which is literally scenes, morning, sunset, Cape Town, tidal pools, like the whole Cape Town vibe.
And that's on like canvas, I would imagine,
on canvases,
right? It's a very different medium to this.
So you just risk it. And I sort of translated, I took inspo from one of my pieces which I did, which was these like aerial shots, who I was originally inspired by, like Slim Aarons. He's a photographer, he does amazing work. And then I picked Old Muizenberg Beach, which is a local favorite.
Yes, our home.
Our home. And sort of just translated it onto the board, and it turned out cool.
Man, that is awesome. I definitely need to get in on this. I'm going to pay auctioning for all of these boards because they look that incredible, especially yours though, Maury. But again, Shali and Maury, thank you so much for just sharing some of your insights, sharing about this incredible festival. Mzansi, of course, for you, you can head over to wavescapefestival.com, get your tickets. There's so much incredible stuff happening. Talks, inspiration, incentives, movies, you name it. It's just incredible work being done in the ocean for people that love it, that like to celebrate it, and are cherishing it. So get involved, get your tickets. And again, ladies, thank you so much for the chat this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gents. We are back now chatting to the critically acclaimed, understandably, Uhadi instrumentalist and vocalist on a different level, Odwa Bongo. I think the honor of having you perform here was laid bare when you performed. So I think all of us understood that there is something else going on here. There are so many elements to look at this career that you must feel like things are exploding, but you seem to be kind of in the eye of the storm. And I've got to ask, because it feels like playing the uhari, that there is something really grounding by virtue of the fact that you don't have shoes on. I'm watching this energy flow through you. You've got this instrument rooted in your chest. You're rooted on the ground. What is the key to playing an instrument like this?
I think the most important thing is the fact that I really connect with it, and in terms of its sound as well. The sound is very grounding.
Yeah.
Also with the history of it, that it was played by women back in the day, and it was mainly played at night, and it was used for personal songs, you know. So hence the grounding, hence the very close connection with the instrument.
It must be so therapeutic, cathartic,
Yes.
being able to do that. That being said, we've got another performance now, and I would imagine every performance feels different because of this effect. So what do you feel? What are you going to perform for us, and what's the feeling you want to evoke?
So I'll be performing my new song, Noma Temba. This is a song that we used to sing in pre-primary school, you know. And when I look at it now, before it used to make me feel very happy. And also it reminded me of my happy childhood, because I really had a happy childhood. But now when I look into the song, it really speaks more to the issues that we face in South Africa, which are about women and children abuse.
Sure.
And so for me, the reason why I sing this song, I just want to encourage people, especially men, that we really need to help raise a righteous society.
Nurture, yeah.
And nurture kids and nurture our women, so that I feel that it will be in a much better place. You know, back in the day, I know for a fact that in my culture, being a man is very important. So before you become a man outside, you become a man in your own home and in your heart. And what was beautiful was that women actually gave you sort of like a graduation belt to actually acknowledge you as a man, you know. And then when your mother actually first, and then when you get married, then your wife has the right then to add on to that belt with more beads. And that's how you were then respected in the community, according to how big your belt.
How many you had earned.
Yes, you had to earn it.
I love that. Ahead, obviously, of Women's Day, an opportunity to raise awareness around this globally being International Women's Day. What is your message right now to South African women? And I'm going to say girls, girl children, anyone that you view your life through that lens. What do you have to say to them?
All I have to say is just thank you. Me, I've been raised by a lot of women around me. So all I want to say, is really thank you so much, and that we've learned a lot. And please keep up with the love and with the nurturing.
And men, just go out and earn.
Yes.
And earn that respect.
Yes.
It's really a gift having you here this morning, so I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to get out of your way and let the love pour, my friend Noma Temba. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Hey,
matambo ubheka yezantsi enyuka matambo yaphezulu aske yehla matambo ubheka yezantsi enyuka matambo yaphezulu aske yehla matambo ubheka yezantsi enyuka matambo yaphezulu ubethwe ngubani nomathemba nomathemba ubethwe ngubani nomathemba yeah nomathemba ubethwe ngubani nomathemba yeah nomathemba yeah ubethwe ngubani nomathemba yeah oh yeah
Thank you so much. There was always this moment where you can just see people are drifting into their own inner verse. Absolutely beautiful. You captured that so exquisitely. I hope that has inspired you. I hope you are feeling the love this morning, and especially ahead of International Women's Day. Children, women are sacred. Nurture that love. And just for a second, just enjoy that. Go and show them some love online. Go and download as much as you can. Support the very best of local, because this is it. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Sure.
Unlock your 100% this Wednesday evening as we meet a certified personal trainer who dreams of taking his skill set and passion to the world of YouTube. Isaac Banda.
Yo, Riley, it doesn't burn, it doesn't work.
Woo! You're working, brother. Yes!
It's his favorite exercise.
He's lying, he's lying.
He confessed to me.
Watch Isaac Banda unlock his 100%. Wednesday, the 8th of March at 7:30 p.m. Only on SABC2.
Good morning and welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso, lekker to hang out with you on this Tuesday. Man, it's been epic so far. It's been inspiring, it's been beautiful. We had a lekker couple of laughs as well. But yes, if you had to write, that's our Good Morning post on social media. If you had to write a book about load shedding. Now, what would the title be? Look, I know that there's a lot that you can say, but we did ask you to keep it PG, and you can still continue sharing your voice notes on 06340888863. Let's take a look. Lauren, let's see what Lauren says. What would you call load shedding in your book?
Good morning, Expresso family.
Morning.
My title of my load shedding book would be Love in the Dark.
Love in the dark. Love in the dark. Saucy. Let's see if Faida can beat that.
Morning, good morning, South Africa.
Morning.
If I had to write a book about load shedding, I would definitely title it Left Out in the Dark.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Left out in the dark.
Well played. I'm loving the voice notes, but of course we've got some comments that have come through as well, starting off with Tina Andrews, who said, good morning, Expresso, morning show, SABC3. I definitely title my book, Eskom, 50 Shades of Darkness.
Oh, wow.
It comes in a trilogy.
You gotta add that on.
We're probably not allowed to say that, but it's so good. We kind of have to say it anyway.
Well played.
I'm glad you can find a lighter side. Komotso saying darkness at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. I promise you, Komotso, it will get better.
We've got Fumba who says, Ashkom, stage 6, verse 5. All right,
I see what you did.
Well played. I like that. Let there be no light.
Natalie says,
we have a winner.
These are the days of our lives.
Ding, 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 ding. And then that technical knockout in round 3. That's brilliant. Absolutely love it. Najwa saying, Planet of the Dark.
All right, that's Planet of the Apes. Like that. I see what you did. Okay, well played. Jamila Male says in the morning, when days are dark, Eskom makes me quack. Okay. It's like a stand-up comedy gig.
I think she was just speaking the truth.
I love this. Vinolia says, when the digital world gets dark.
Beryl saying how to survive in an electronic age without electricity. Sounds more like a docky than a movie. Absolutely brilliant.
Bring them on. I loved it. Mzansi, you guys are very creative. That's one thing I love about our country. We have this weird ability to laugh at and find the humor in the craziest situations.
I suppose we have to.
It's kind of like a coping mechanism, actually. I don't know if we're forced to, but I'm here.
But I think it's also the way that we are, South Africans. You know, we can tolerate so much. You know, we can say things that, you know, don't go towards the light in South Africa, you know, because, I mean, that's the reality, but we laugh about it.
Well, speaking of the guy who has the light, there's always that one person in every neighborhood that doesn't look like they're affected at all because they've got friends, okay? And Game are going to be our friend through this process, and here's how we can help you in the darkest of hours. All right, so we love it. I know we are trying to find the lighter side, so please forgive us for having a bit of a laugh, but we will get practical now. We know load shedding is kind of like playing a game of musical chairs in your house, except the chairs are your appliances and the music is the sound of or sound of nothing because it's gone dead. So suddenly you're left in the dark with nothing but a flickering candle and a sense of impending doom. Dun, dun, or romance if one of our viewers had anything to do with it. Exactly. But Mzansi, we are here to help you with a plethora of ways to keep those lights on. So let's take them through some hacks, and Game have got us sorted.
Okay. But I think first we've got to just find out, I mean, our go-to kind of activity during load shedding.
Oh, yeah.
What would you say
we
that
have load shedding concerts? Okay, we do, and it's amazing. So it's a way, because dealing with kids without electronics at a particular time of the day can be impossible, man.
Right?
You've done every trick, you've been outside, you've done everything you can.
It's too dark to go outside.
Well, but this is the thing. So what we do is we put in a little concert, whatever lighting we need to add to the drama, and it's become a thing. It's fun, man. Your boys are slightly older. How do you handle that?
So it really depends on the time and the schedule, you know, that we find ourselves in. So if it's like a late afternoon, like a 4 to 6:30 kind of vibe, I light the fire, dude. Brian, my kids love Brian.
They probably look forward to it then.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a vibe. It's like, you know, on a Tuesday afternoon. It's bright. Let's do it.
Don't even notice that the lights
are board games, dude. Board games with the camping lights around. I mean, that's always a lekker vibe.
100%. I've discovered some of the craziest board games you can think of. A game called Regen Vorm, a Dutch game that I've picked up on sushi, dominoes. It's insane. That and the fact that I'm reading books with words in, like me. I'm doing that.
Not only pictures.
No,
Wow,
the pictures
Ryle.
don't move out.
The same kind of applies to us because we're reading to our kids now.
I'm doing well for myself.
Oh, well, here's the deal, man. We've got some great news for you. You don't have to quite go to our extent. In fact, we've got some hacks, and Game is there with some load-shedding solutions at, yes, the best price. So who needs Eskom when you've got access to your very own portable power stations? And look at that entry level. I like that. So at selected Game stores, they have everything from Magneto 150-watt portable power stations right through to the holy grail of sorts, a 1,200-watt. That's the big daddy over there. And they are all portable, so you can literally move from room to room.
You know, which is perfect. I mean, run a lead where you need to, we make do. But I mean,
the
those
big
things,
screen by the bride.
look, they are magic. I mean, if there's one thing I want to keep on, it's at least the Wi-Fi router and the TV and a light.
Essentials.
The essentials, you know. And next up, we have generators. I mean, generators, we know that, but with some much needed light at the end of each tunnel, the Ryobi 650-watt generator, the RG950, for only 2,499 Rand is just what you need to enter the market. Now, selected Game stores have both the Ryobi 2.7 kilowatt and the RG, that's the RG 2700 for 5,699 Rand, and the 5.5 kilowatt RG 6,900 Rand for an incredible 11,999 Rand. You're sorted.
These things pack a punch. I got to be honest with you. I love doing my DIY at home. I used a buddy of mine's with this, and for power tools, he had like a 400-watt cutting disc, and it just handled completely. I couldn't believe you could use such a stature of tools on something like that, but man, it works.
So
I think
your poor neighbors like, how are you making this much noise?
Yeah, how even? I absolutely love it. But look, the list carries on, and if you are in the market for an inverter, the Ellie's trolley inverter, 720-watt, 1,200 VA is out, and it's here, saving lives for only 8,999 Rand, and literally as well. And I can't think of anything cooler to do. Like you said, powering up the essentials, powering up all the things that we need to carry on with our day, especially for those that are working at home right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people work from home, and we need that little bit of a backup. But last but not least, we all know that fully charged cell phones are a rare commodity.
What is that even?
Yeah, I know, right? Now, Game has your Superfly Mini UPS for only 949 Rand and Volcano Sustain Series Mini UPS for an affordable price of 599 Rand to keep the Wi-Fi going during load shedding. You see, that is something I think I deem essential at home.
And it's not going to break the bank as well.
No, it's about 150,000 Rand less than the majority of the other solutions that are floating around. I'm not even joking.
Man, I'm feeling sorted, James. Okay, that was cool.
Well, but we're going to your house. I think we'll keep them all in one house and we can live like kings. So what's the item that's first on your shopping list? Think about that, draw up the list and get out there. You can stock up on those load-shedding essentials from Game, and of course, don't forget that you can compare prices with their price beat promise. That offers a 10% refund on the difference in price on any item that you have purchased. And if you find it cheaper at a competitor within 21 days of that purchase, you are guaranteed a price beat on that item. I love it.
There we have it. Store opening hours on Monday to Friday from 9 to 6. You have lots of time to go and shop around. Saturday from 9 to 5 and Sunday and public holidays from 9 to 4. So you can go out and get what you...
Do it while you got load shedding.
Join the bank that's best for your money. Nedbank. See money differently.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. We are obviously celebrating so much magic this morning, and we're continuing right now because we obviously earlier got to know a little bit more about the instrumentalist Odwa earlier, and now we're going to continue with that. But before we get to find out more about the magic that comes out of his voice and what he just harnesses, I want to find out about this instrument here. I know I might be putting you on the spot, but it looks so enticing. Is it something that's very difficult to teach someone? Could I try strum it, or is that something that takes quite a bit of time?
It's when to play it properly, it takes some time. Yeah. But I think, no, not really.
Do you think you could teach it right now, maybe?
Yes,
how to play like something?
I could.
Okay.
So
Doing
you
the
have
honors
to
here? Yeah.
You have to hold it like this. I hold
Okay.
it like this.
All right, I got you. So your fingers in and then you go one finger out like that.
No, not this
That
finger.
way, okay.
But
Index finger.
yes.
Yeah?
And then you basically strike the string with... So if you're left-handed, there you go. Yes, so it's better when the calabash touches your skin.
Okay.
That's where the trick is.
To have that connection.
Yes.
All right. Well, look, I think it's also better when you do it because clearly I don't know what's going on. But at the same time, this is such a majestic instrument.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, you've got this incredible festival coming up as well. What's happening at the festival? You know, talk to Mzansi more about it, maybe?
Cool. So there is Indyebo Yakwantu, which I am part of. And it's happening at Great Wall Studios on the 26th of this month.
26th of this month, and
Yes.
you've already given us every reason to get involved in that because you sound incredible. Just listening to you, it's more than a song. I feel like I just elevate when I'm just hearing it. I can feel it. I can
Thank
just
you.
resonate with it. What else are we expecting for 2023 this year from you?
This year, I'm definitely releasing more music. And I'm just hoping that people will get to know me and the kind of music that I do. This is the most important thing. What is the most important thing? I really wanted to be the center of attraction in South Africa because we have a lot of Western instruments that are being put right in the center, so much that we've actually forgotten the beauty of indigenous music and
Our
indigenous
roots and our
instruments.
power, especially.
Yes.
So what song are you going to be taking us home with right now?
Cool. Now I'm gonna do my last song, and it's called Amahule. It's by Amagwini.
Amahule. Well, my friend, take us away, serve us, and do the thing.
Cool.
To get to the heart of how you feel, all you need is love and a dish that no one cooks.